to start 3 minutes. Welcome to all of you here this afternoon to watch the finals of the Elite Series 26-inch at the 2019 UCI World Championships in Chengdu, China. We're going to be going live on TV in about 20 seconds time, and then we'll have a short intro for about a minute and 40 seconds before we start.
To introduce the riders to you.
So right now, just under 2 minutes until start. Very good afternoon and welcome. Hope you enjoyed the show with us here this afternoon.
The UCI 2019 Urban Cycling World Championships here in Chengdu, China. An amazing city and really a privilege to be here. I'm joined in the commentary box by my good friend, all the way from Australia, Nathan Mummery.
Hello again.
And we're here for the men's 26-inch elite final, and we've just finished up with an amazing women's race. And the city of Chengdu, an absolutely amazing place. We've very famous for, of course, the Pandas, an amazing panda research center, and then all amazing culture. They've got some of the biggest buildings in the world, and some amazing cuisine in the form of famous for their hot pot, which is kind of spicy. I don't know if you've tried any of that now.
Oh mate, I struggle with it. Yeah, big time.
And also then we are here for the Urban Games, which is a combination of flatland, BMX park, and of course bicycle trials that we're here to see. And looking at the start list, our qualifiers for today is and of course the famous Gilles Costelier, multiple world champion, and so we got but actually in 6th place we had Joachim Neumann from Sweden. We had Gilles Costelier, Nicolas Valli, Sergei Longueras, Vincent Hermans and Jack Carthy. Those were our top 6 riders from the semi-final. And those are the riders that are going into the final here. In a couple of seconds time we're going to have the podium, we're going to have the call-up. But just a quick one from the previous racing. Nathan, what did you think of this morning's racing?
Oh, it was awesome. Just watching the juniors come through the sections. I think it's dried out a little bit since then, but the level is very, very high, and I'm sure you can expect more of the same for the elite men.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be a cracker of an event. We've got 6 obstacles in each section, 5 sections that the guys have to go through. There is only one run of each section. The guys will not have ridden the course the way it is designed now, so they changed the gates for the final, so everything pretty new. They will have ridden on the obstacles, but not in the direction and through the gates that they required. Nicolas Valli, last year he was the UCI World Cup overall title holder. Sergi Longueras from Spain, a man with massive amounts of power. Vincent Hermans, multiple world champion.
Yeah, a bit of a legend as well.
Yeah, legend of the sport.
Speaking of legends, here he is.
Yeah, there he is from Great Britain. Jack Carthy. He won here last year, he won the year before, multiple world champion winner, and he absolutely destroyed the course on the semi-final, coming through with such a score. I think it was 860 points out of a possible 900, so almost a perfect run.
Yep.
And he says he's feeling really good on the bike, so it's going to be interesting.
He sounds really confident, doesn't he? But I think any of the riders could potentially win today. But I think certainly the favourites are Jack without doubt. Nico has been chasing on his heels for a long time now.
Yeah.
And, yeah, all he needs is Jack to make a mistake and he'll slip in there. But Gilles, you can't write him off, or Vincent as well. So.
Well, you know, between Gilles and Vincent, I think, there's like 6 or 7 World Championship titles between the two of them.
Yeah, France are dominant.
I mean, the French era, they were just so strong in trial, and they were just winning everything. And you know, the youngsters like Sergi and Jack have come in, and they really put the pressure down, and it's going to be interesting because I know Gilles on focus, he really wants to prove that he's still there, he's still got it.
Yeah.
Hasn't had the best of years, but I know his focus was the world champs. So
absolutely. His mentality has changed over the years. You know, he used to be a lot more isolating to himself from the French team and other riders, but I think in recent years he's sort of calmed a little bit more, you know, family man now, but still one of the best riders in the world.
All right, and we've got one of the most powerful riders. It's Joachim Nijman.
Look at this. Check out that new bike as well. Yeah. Interesting colour choice.
Yeah, definitely. I think they were trying to match the Swedish flag.
Yeah. Here we go.
And so through gate 1, now he's got this difficult kick. We were out on the course. Nathan and myself did a walk around and talking through some of those obstacles, and they are huge. What he's got to get up here is well over 1.8 meters high, and look at that, holding on. Oh, jumping back. He almost had it there.
Safely back through the gates though, so he's okay to try again.
Yeah. So jumping up onto that obstacle, if he had to go over sideways, can you just explain what would happen there?
Yeah, like we were saying before with the women's, you have to have an imaginary line between your front and rear axle, okay? And so if that imaginary line crosses one of the gates, when you're going through it or back through it, then that's a 5 and you don't get to continue. Like that, for example.
Like that, yeah.
She's very unlucky. I tell you what, those rocks are so slippery. And the floor is even worse.
Yeah, so that floor is like sticky, it's pedaling off grass, so
yep.
As you're rolling along, your tires kind of stick in, you don't get the drive that you wanted, and getting onto that obstacle, it's also not round, it's not like perfectly round on top, it's kind of a little jagged.
Yeah.
So you've got about 2 millimeters as to where you got to put that front wheel to hook it, and not making it up. So here's the legend himself, Gilles Costelier.
Yep.
And
so Joachim first run, and so does Gilles now, almost.
So Gilles on 10, dropping down there.
I tell you what, there's a lot of crashes on this yesterday in the semi-finals. This line was in there as well, and they make it look easy. I tell you what,
they make it look very easy, but it is very sharp on the top there. From this angle, it just looks like a round rock. That is extremely sharp. It's only like kind of, not even 2 centimeters. It just literally comes to a point. So you have to really keep the momentum so that you don't slide off the side.
Oh. It's good. I think the hardest thing about this when I was walking this today is the undulation in the run-up. And when you've got a bumpy run-up, it's so hard to get the timing of your movements just right. And when you're going 1.80 meters in the air, it's difficult when it's up near your max and you've got a hard surface to deal with. And I think yesterday when I was riding the semi-finals in this section, the hardest thing is that the ground gets softer and softer every single time a rider rides over those particular line. Ends up getting a groove in the ground, and that can really stuff you up.
Look at it, he's got it. Yes, he pulls it off. Trying really, really hard.
Third time too, man.
Third time, but the key with that is the time. So trying it 3 times, as we said earlier this morning, you have only got, you can use as long as you want. You've only got 2 minutes to finish the section, but if you break that down, it's 20 seconds per gate.
Yeah, and he just lost.
And he just lost
a lot of time.
Loads of time. So,
wow, good save though. He's still going. 15 seconds.
Mistake. He can't score the points on this, so he's probably going to try and take a dab there.
No, he's going for it. He's Gilles.
Oh, he side-hopped it.
Full side-hop. We were looking today, we thought he might, jump to hook, but no, does the bigger move. Straight side-up up.
There we go. So,
and out of time.
Oh, yeah.
Now, this next gate, as you might see with another next riders coming through, is a huge hook, isn't it? It's got a really awkward sort of bump in front of it as well. Gilles unsuccessful this time, but he doesn't
look too happy there, although he doesn't really show much emotion in his ride. But I think he would have been hoping for at least 40 points in the section to put down a good solid solid start. And once again, that gate number 2 being a difficult decider. Nico is so smooth on that. easily doing that. You
Yeah.
can see that, keeping that momentum,
So
not
he-
hopping around on that sharp point.
Has to go back to get through I think gate 2B. Once again, you must get your axles through both A and B of the gates to get the points.
Now that's going to be tricky because once again, time. This is a long gate, a long section. You've
Yep.
still got a lot of gates left.
Correct, and that one there too. There's 3 parts to gate 2, so you've got to get through
Yeah.
3 gates essentially to get that 10 points. And gee, I tell you what, when you got Jill and Nico struggling with the pedal up, you know it's ridiculous, right?
This is going to be a key factor in getting through section number 1. If you can get through that gate on your first attempt,
You're in, yeah.
you're in with a shot.
All right, so Gilles got it on the 3rd attempt. Can Nico do it? I tell you what, he needs to. Confidence in the first section. Here we go. Come on.
Yes, he
yes.
does
Body weight was more over the bike there.
it. Yeah, getting nice and
On the way
compact
in.
on it on the way up. Keeping the bike rolling when the bike impacts into that obstacle, you
Yeah.
can't just stop it. You've really got to.
Ooh, look how slippy that is. Unfortunately,
5
a
points.
5. Axels crossing the gate. So unlucky. And like we were saying with the run-up with trials, it's all about what happens before you jump that is important. In
Yeah.
that case, his body weight was a little bit more over the bike and he got that drive, but unfortunately 5ing later in the section.
Yeah, Nico won't be happy with that. That's
No.
not a good start for him. So at the moment we got Naiman on 10, Valeria on 20, and Kustelier on 30. And
Let's see what Sergi's got.
let's see if Sergi can pull off a 40.
Now, once again, guys, we've got a few changes from the semi-finals. I think previously they only changed 1 gate, didn't they? But this year they changed quite a lot more. I think 50% of the section's different. Is that right?
Yeah. So loads of changes, and they made the course considerably harder, I must say.
Yeah. I mean, they've still got some of the hard things like that gate that Sergi's just gone through. But
Well, Sergi actually making
he's-
good time in the section.
check this. He's doing it from 1 pedal instead of 1.5. Closer run-up. Very, very interesting move. He obviously feels more confident going from 1 pedal than...
And maybe with the soil being so sticky and gooey and stuff,
Maybe it's easier from 1.
maybe it's kind of like the less time you spend pedaling
Maybe.
off the soil, the better.
I mean, I wouldn't do that, but I'm not in the final, that's for sure. Come on,
Just
Sergi.
doesn't look like he's got enough momentum to carry him up there.
Yeah. Yeah, the other riders, as we were saying, what we're talking about here is what pedal distance. So, Sergi,
Yes.
wow, just inside the gate there, folks. Back wheel was
As you
close.
can see, that back was super close. And as he pulled it to the top, you actually see he pulled the bike slightly to the left to
Yeah.
make sure that those axles went within
Yeah.
those arrows.
Just by a centimetre. Oh, the bunny hop.
Yes!
And up. Wow.
Oh, beautiful dismount.
That was awesome. Yeah. It's literally like a kicker there, but it's like one of the worst kickers you ever see. It's like a groove that's like sticky mud. That was big.
Yeah, and if
Fighting
you
back.
can imagine trying to push through that.
Oh, good save.
Interesting thing is that's what we spoke about, and we said like
It's actually
that's
worse.
the move that we said we would do.
Actually,
is easier.
If I remember correctly, you said you could do it.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think I might be wrong.
think-
If Sergi got a 5 on that,
I
then
think we misjudged it, huh?
I think we misjudged that. That is much harder than what it looks.
Yeah, I think also Sergi is left foot forward as well, and then when you're trying to side hop up to hook, it's much harder to swing that way. Most of the other riders are right, but Jack's also left. So.
But I will eat my words there.
Okay, yeah.
I will definitely not be able to
Good
do
man.
that move.
Yeah. Called you out.
All right, so
here we go.
Vincent, he's had a great year this year, been on the podium at virtually every World Cup, I think.
Yeah, super consistent this season.
Yeah. And seems very happy on the bike, happy on that team he's on.
Yep.
And,
Strong team this year.
Yeah.
So he made that look like nothing. And he's opting for a different angle, the angle that you were looking at actually. Oh no, he's just, you're not winning here with the angles, yeah?
Nope.
All right, so once again.
Okay, he's going for the longer run-up, 1.5.
Yeah.
Can you just explain the difference between 1 and 1.5?
To be honest, I think trials riders normally work on either doing 1 pedal or 1.5. We probably spend more time doing that because it's easier.
So by 1.5 you mean full rotations of,
Sorry,
of
yeah,
the pedals. So
correct, yeah. So number of times that your front foot, wow, geez, that's got to be a 5 surely. Maybe his axles didn't cross.
I don't think 5 points.
5
yeah.
points. Jeez, almost a good save. But yeah, to explain again, it's literally if you're, say, your right foot forward, 1 pedal is where you complete a full rotation, and then as you reach the pedal up, you're getting back to your right foot. Full rotation.
Yeah.
So 1.5 is obviously you start switch foot, so bad
Yeah,
foot,
starting
and
with
then
your
go through.
with the foot you're not comfortable with forward.
And then of course you need
Give you
more
that
distance.
little bit of momentum, and then
More distance, more momentum.
more distance, more momentum.
Which is good, but can be hard at the time. Look at that, Jack. Perfect.
Backward side up. And actually side upping there, he has to pull the bike backwards.
Different there. Different approach. Safer approach,
wow.
maybe. Didn't waste any time anyway, did he?
Yeah, jeez. But this is a big one because everybody struggled with this. And
Yeah, I
and
mean, this is what Jack's known for, right?
Yeah.
He gets the moves.
but I don't think this is easy, even for him.
Oh,
5
wow.
points.
Sorry, getting emotional in the commentary box here. Wow.
That is
not-
huge.
not
So we've
expecting
got
that.
Sergi and
Well,
Coustelia in the lead.
points. Only 10 points. Big breath there from Jack Carthy. He knows the pressure's on now, but you remember back to 2017, same thing happened.
Same
from
thing happened.
Different
coming
reason,
from the back.
but and to be honest, that's the fine line. I think he was actually really close to getting that pedal up then, because the pressure was on his front wheel. We watch it again. Here he comes, slow mo, looking powerful. He was almost up. If his front wheel had a grip just for a split second there, he would have been up.
Yeah,
But because you're so committed, when it does go wrong, you just explode.
yeah. So putting everything on the line there.
Yeah, and it's stressful when you've only got one shot at each section, right? But a full 4 sections to go. Here comes the big Swede. This guy is actually so strong with his powerlifting. He could actually compete at the Olympics.
Yeah,
Like, he's actually that strong.
very, very, very strong.
Yeah.
There's some huge power work.
Yeah.
And some of the side ops and some of the gaps he can
Wow.
do is absolutely
Yeah,
massive.
not human. Wow, look how thin that takeoff is there now.
Yeah.
Now everyone, what he's trying to do there.
This is where I think the more technical riders will have a slight benefit.
Yes.
Is because
Yes. Wow. Wow.
nicely done.
Eat your words. Yeah, he just bombs it.
Yeah, the power worked for him there.
I think that must be 135, but horrible run up. The size is almost, not relevant. Now, speaking of size, this move from 1 pedal again. Pedal kick 1. Ooh, to bash. He might have just got his pedal distance wrong there. I think he was a little bit too
Yeah.
close. See how he hesitated and did a pedal kick instead of a full rotation?
So not easy there. This side up will be nothing for him. Ooh,
Ooh, wow.
well, height was
Oh,
okay,
no, he
but
got a 5.
he jumping off.
The women's gate there. The rear axle.
Yeah,
Wow, he will be absolutely gutted with that.
yeah, that's not.
Yeah.
As you
Wow.
can see, frustrated.
I would not stand in front of him right now, yeah. It'd eat you alive.
He
Wow.
does get rather frustrated out on the
Yeah.
course. Very emotional.
But awesome though, great to watch.
Yeah.
It's okay. All right, Gilles, what can you do?
This is a difficult gate, this angle. Having to get up there and keep the momentum on that bike.
So essentially this was in reverse for the semis. You just had to drop off that. All right, Gilles, what can you do here? Certainly got the power. And definitely one of the most technical riders in the world, without doubt. Has been for years, 10 years to 15 years. Oh, to front. Look at the
Beautiful.
confidence. You have to be so confident to do that in the competition. I guess for him, he thinks it's easier, so off he goes.
Yeah.
No problem. A
So
different angle.
looking at time, he's got to start
15.
keeping it going. I mean, he's still got time on the clock, so he's moving nice and quick, but he has
the
to keep
approach,
it.
though. What's he
Yeah,
doing
kind of
there?
weird. Like,
That's high risk. Washing out the back wheel, but maybe front. One hop. Oh. That's at least 145 to the top.
yeah. But I do think that obviously these the run-ins, and as you say, pedaling across that grass makes it so much harder.
Yeah, it's not normal. You see, like on a flat ground, I think he would get that every day of the week.
Yeah, for sure.
But he's still progressing. 40 seconds left. All right, can he get through? He's going to go pedal up instead and then turn. Keep control, hopefully. Come on, Jules. Wow, bumper, front to rear.
Yes.
Look at that control.
Nicely done.
It's
Turning
just
it
so
on.
good. It's just
All
so
right,
good.
so he's got 22 seconds left.
Okay, so this was in the semis as well, guys. Bad side hop up to front, I assume here. Tight with the gates, isn't it? Perfect. All right, here we go. 10 seconds to go. Biggest kicker. Here we go. Oh, big jump.
Over
Acrobatic, huh? Good commitment with like 5 seconds left. Yeah, he's fighting.
Yeah, he's fighting hard. He wants the title. He wants to show that he's not out of the game. He's still in it.
In the lead so
And,
far.
he is in the lead so far.
But all the big guns still coming through. Section 2. Here we go, Nico.
And I can tell you something. Jack's going to have a whole lot of fury and speed in him.
He needs 60 points, really, to be honest.
Yeah.
Or 50 at least. All right.
And that also depends if Nico can get through the sections.
Yeah.
Through the section. Because I think Nico stands a good chance on this because he is...
Me too. Ooh. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. That was good. He did a hook.
Different technique. Did a hook on that.
I think
Made
he
it look nice and easy.
I think he wanted to go to front there, but last minute he had to change. I think. Okay, different angle again. Not like Gilles, like Joachim. I think that's the wiser move.
But kicking off this grass is so hard. Just look at the pedals. Look at that body position, lowering the weight.
Yep.
Trying to get as much power out of the drive in that bike.
Wow.
Oh yes.
Look at that. That is, for anyone at home, that is textbook pedal up to front wheel technique right there.
Yeah.
He's known for it.
Absolutely beautiful. Getting that front wheel on it, throwing that weight right over, and that's one of the reasons the stem is so long on these bikes.
Yeah. Higher your body weight can get, the better, right?
Oh, look at that. So Nicola going over. He's got to redo that side up.
Losing some time.
He went over. He hasn't put his foot down. He's still going to get the points. But the biggest penalty on that is time. He's only got 28 seconds left. And can he get 60 points in this section?
He's got to move. He can do this.
He's got 20 seconds left. He's still got time. It is possible. How's he going to go? Is he going to front to back it like...
Oh,
Yep.
so good. He can do this. 10 seconds. Switch his pedals. Come on. Oh, straight
Yes.
to rear. Wow.
60 points.
Wow.
Putting the hammer down.
Only 2 seconds left through the gate. World Championships finals, mate. That's right there in a nutshell.
Oh, yeah.
Under pressure.
So Jack has to get 60 to stay in the game here.
Wow. That's huge. Once again, we've got a tight final like the women's, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
And the juniors. Everything's been so tight.
So close this. It's so technical. Look how these guys, especially with that move, how
Angle.
close that gate is.
To the women's one, yeah.
To the women's one. And so they don't take the women's race arrows off. The men cannot pass through those arrows. So they can't use the women's lines. They have to go around it.
Wow, straight to rear.
Straight to back.
Just through the other gate. I think he went through it. No, he didn't. So there's another gate. I think it's gate 2B or 3B or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Just there, as you can see. And he has to go back through to get through that because he's just swung through it. Still on zero, though.
Yeah, but
Just
that would have
losing
been
some time.
costly in terms of time. As you can see, only got a minute and 5 seconds left to get through this section 2, the Wonder Log section.
And Nico didn't do that, and he had 2 seconds left. So
Yeah.
come on, Sergi.
Come on, Sergi. But Sergi is good with these big thing. Is going to go straight to back. Oh,
Well, clean
two
though.
rows. Clean,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was kind of like
Nicely
a
done.
hook, but still effective. Now he's
Kind of like a high hook, getting the bike like slightly higher. And
Yep, still effective. Now he's a left foot forward, so he's coming from the other side of the log here. Good, just
hold
maintained
it,
balance. It does have the chicken wire on there, but I'd say it's still slippery.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So
Well, he's actually
35
made up
seconds.
time.
He's made up a lot of time. Oh, remember, Nico went over
twice.
that and had to come back.
That's true. Yeah. Good memory.
So there's a chance there's another 60 points on
All
offer
right.
here for
Take your
Sergi.
time now. Take your time. Focus here. He's visualizing it now. Come on. Wow.
Yes.
In the rain out there as well. Wow, so good. It's raining out there too, I'm not wrong, huh?
Yeah, bit of a drizzle coming down.
Wow. If the sections weren't hard enough already, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually raining as well.
It's a slight drizzle, which is
Definitely.
nothing too hard, but it's going to make everything slightly damp and everything slightly more slippery.
I mean, the sections are already pretty wet, but it's definitely not nice. Geez, yeah, 3-horse race at the moment. What can Vincent do? Like Jack, both on 20 points now. I think Vincent will do this, no worries. Plenty of speed.
Whoa, onto the pedal. So
BRU style. Alright, down he comes.
so he won't get the 10 points for that gate.
Unfortunate. Only on 2 points lost and 10 overall.
But time, although the second half of the section is quite a lot faster than the first. So
Alright, so he's opting for 1.5 here as well. Once again about the pedal strokes. We talk about this a lot because it's a big thing you have to decide with trials. But perfect.
nicely done.
Perfect hook.
Vincent is very good. I've always said, like, at those high hooks, like having to get
Yeah.
that back wheel and kind of just get the bike around that obstacle. He really is good at that.
Really gets his body weight high on the bike on the way in, which is what is so important with hooks, right? You got to jump your body before the bike. Look at that control. Classic Vincent style.
Yeah,
A little bit wild,
off,
but
getting the
perfect.
pedal, keeping
Standard.
that balance.
Just standard. He's
Fantastic.
relaxed.
And he's caught up all that time. There's chance for
That's true, yeah.
50 points on this one.
25 seconds. It's crazy to think 25 seconds is a lot of time, but
Yeah,
it's a fast kicker. Come on, Vince. Straight to rear. He has to do it. Come on. Wow.
nope.
Straight off that mounds. It's amazing the riders, even when they crash, they land on their feet.
Yeah,
It's nuts, isn't it?
it's funny. Somebody will say to you, you go for a trials ride. They say, "How often do you fall?" I said, "Well, every ride, a couple of times."
And they think you're dying,
They say,
yeah.
Did you hurt yourself? He said, "No, well, I kind of landed on my feet, but I had to jump off."
Yeah, they always expect lots of broken bones.
Yeah,
As long as you don't look at your shins, it's fine. Come on, Jack. This is big now.
yeah.
Chance to make up for some points in the rain.
So Jack practicing on a lot of narrow bridges at his house. So
Yeah, absolutely. Wow, just getting his pedal strokes a bit wrong there. A little bit of lateral balance lost. Won't bother him. Wow, he lost his balance there. Wow. Wow, that is
What is going on?
That's an upset here. Well, a few people.
this is the biggest upset of the year.
I don't know whether he can come back. Can he win still? I don't know. Well, my friend over in Chicago, Australian Joe Brewer, he picked it. He said he wouldn't win, but I told him no way, but maybe he's right. Shout out to him out over there in Chicago. Anyway, back on section. The ride goes on. Jack Carthy on 20. Can you believe it?
That is absolutely insane.
I'm in shock. Geez, this looks hard. I don't know how it's possible.
Yeah, that is
Clean.
a very, very difficult gate.
Because you can't hit momentum. So he's used 2 points there. Strategic. He'd already lost the points. He realised he couldn't do it.
I think a lot of the riders are saying that it's open for everybody else, and it's suddenly this has opened up a whole new
Absolutely.
thing. Everybody kind of had Jack pegged as the winner and,
Yeah, and to be
fighting
honest-
for second place, and suddenly that's not the case anymore.
Whoa! Wow!
Oh, a big fall,
And this is what we say. Look,
hitting his head.
it is so slippery out
Is
there.
he all right?
Yeah, he's okay. I think more emotional. See, sometimes it's better to be conservative. Go to 2 wheels, but
Yeah, that was a hard impact coming
wow,
down
look at the
hard there.
replay here. Now, he has been complaining about a wrist injury as well, and that's his left wrist that he's been complaining about with the injury. So he's fallen very hard on that wrist. So I really hope that the Swede's okay. Wow, so much upset here. And when the sections are this wet and this slippery, you see Joachim walking away there. I hope he's okay. Yeah, when it's this slippery, anything can happen. And it looks like it's anyone's. Wow, Gilles. Wow. What a save. He almost got it clean. Yeah. Like 1, 2, 3, up and then slip. Gilles. If anyone can do it, it's Gilles. Now he's got heaps of mud on his rim, affecting it. Oh, look at this. Taking the point though, wise. Showing it's possible though. But my goodness, I don't know how you get the momentum to get up that. 3 steps, you know, from a static start.
Yeah, no, that is...
Look, see how his rim's covered in mud already.
Yeah, and that's going to affect the brakes. And
Yep.
I mean, going into a section when you've got a muddy rim like that, what do you, like, kind of how do you go around, and how does it not bother you? Like,
Well,
you
yeah,
know,
see?
scared that your brakes aren't going to work?
Yeah, for sure. I think you use the obstacle to stop you though. Like for example there, instead of going to back wheel like Joachim did, he's using 2 wheels, always using the shape of the rock and the 2 wheels to clamp on everything. And that's all you can do. Yeah, because your brakes aren't going to work very well.
Yeah, this is a difficult one.
Yeah, they've changed the angle on this one big time. It's much more of a knife's edge.
There was a rock shaped just like this last year that,
I remember
strangely
it.
enough, that Gilles also struggled with. So
Really?
yeah,
Right. Here we go. Just the amount of core strength that comes in this sort of move. Wow. What? That was almost a good save, but 5 points. Jeez, the sections are almost too hard, aren't they?
I didn't think I'd ever see that.
Yeah.
But so we've had 10 and 10. If Jack can get through this one on 60
That's true.
points,
This is making for a contest, isn't it?
It can put him back in the comp.
Yeah.
But
it's all Nico, though. Nico's a big one here.
Nico
Who's in
is a big
front?
one.
You've got, Nico and then Sergi. Wow.
Yeah, Sergi currently in the lead.
Anything can still
Nico in
happen
second place.
when it's this slippery. Jack's got to get 60 for the rest, surely, though, if he wants to win.
Yeah.
All right. Is this possible? Jeez, I think Gilles was the closest to getting it, to be honest. Because you've got to... This one is a very difficult one to explain in the commentary box. It's how do you get momentum when you're starting from static like that? Like normally, if that wasn't mud, you'd have a big pedal up in.
Yeah.
And one hop, then up, but... And the French say stack, stack.
This is going to be very, very difficult. And
Wow. So wow, look at that. How he didn't break his front wheel there.
yeah.
But
So as you can see, battling with that, a minute down, he doesn't even have a single point on the board.
absolute mud slosh pit.
He wants these points. He
Yeah.
wants to try.
No, he's taking it. He needs to get more points than 10, right? Or 0, should I say. Wow, this is huge. As the British would say, this is bollocks.
Yeah. Just look at that position, trying to get the bike.
Taking another point. Wow. Wow, what can you do? 40 seconds. He still can't get the 10 points for this first gap. He's just got to
So
get through.
it's not. I mean, it's not that it's hard. It's just you can't even put your foot down. You can't even.
It's so slippery, you can't even put your foot down. Wow. He pretty much had it.
Oh, so close. He's going to be so frustrated with that.
But
That
opens it up.
That opens a whole lot up, and
Wow, Sergi's in here.
it kind of means that we could see
A complete upset.
complete upset and a Spanish world champion
Wow,
could
yeah.
be made here if you get 60 points, because
Imagine that.
would. And Sergi's good on rocks.
I think left is better. Yeah, it's
Yes.
better. Wow.
No ways.
Wow.
And Jack is also left, so
Keeping in mind, it looks from the way his body was, left foot is an advantage on an obstacle. Maybe.
it looks that way, but
But who knows? Yeah. Again, in the commentary box.
yeah, sitting there looking just
Yeah.
like we thought that side up would be super simple.
Yeah.
And
Wow, this is huge. This is quite a lead now
yeah, this
Wow.
is a big lead.
for the finals trials. He's just got to focus now, not think about his lead. Just think about each individual obstacle in the mud. It's an
So here we
absolute
go. This
slog
one
pit.
this is difficult. You see, actually taking a different technique to
Yeah.
Gilles.
Wow.
Oh yes, front
My
to back.
God, look at that.
He's good at that.
But
He's
out of the
in
mud.
zone. Oh,
Yeah.
it's so difficult. That back tire sticking.
I
And
cannot.
the commitment you need to go into that, like
100%.
throwing that weight over the front.
100% commitment. Even that is an absolute mud pit. And he has to go to back wheel here on literally an inch. And it's muddy. A
And look
muddy
at the
inch.
time, 36,
Wow,
35
look at-
seconds.
look at
Oh,
this.
5 points. 40
You,
points for him.
Aggressive words in Spanish, I assume, but he's happy. He got the points. And he's got a pretty good lead.
he does have a pretty good lead.
50 points on Valet. Wow. Okay, Vincent. Can he come from behind? And speaking of which, Jack as well. Vincent's not out of it.
No, he is not. Definitely not out of it.
And like, remember in Andorra 2015, everyone thought he wasn't, going to win. It's always possible.
He did it.
Yeah. Let's see if it is. Yeah, see, I think it's worse for the right foot.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Although
Oh.
it's just a difficult move, and what Sergi did that was so good is he just kept that momentum. That
He just
I think
planted
the moment you kind of stop on that rock, you can kind
all
of see
over.
that that balance is broken. You've got to like slam into it, throw your weight, and just try keep it going into the obstacle, which is it's risky, but it's.
You got to commit though, yeah. Yeah, see, you're a bit. You're
Yeah.
right. He followed Sergei's line there, a bit more to the right.
Yeah.
The others were hitting to the left. Surely that was not a 5. Wow. Oh no. Yeah, right.
Oh,
I'm speechless. I don't know what
asking
to
why.
say.
So it's always hard to see from the commentary box
Of
and see
course.
on the screen
Imagine how
as
hard
to what
it
happened,
is.
but
Yeah, for the observers, it's so
the
hard.
observers, there are 2 observers on each section, so the guys are watching from all angles.
And they see it best. I think it was.
Yeah, he saw it
yeah.
immediately. So they obviously it was
Yeah, he saw
definitely
it. Yeah.
it wasn't questionable. It wasn't kind of like he was looking for that axle line and.
Wow, devastated. Jack, different line. Wow,
Yes.
completely different line. Here he is. This is where he comes into his own.
Yeah, muddy, difficult, sticky stuff, and
So many points behind, and just here he is, the trials machine.
just look at the time on the clock.
It's like not even 20 seconds in.
Yeah,
He's aggressively on it here. Look
yeah,
at
taking
this.
Sergi's line, and he wants to come back.
This is the future style of trials, right?
Yeah.
It's just aggressive, fast, really precise. You don't muck around on the obstacles, up, down.
So here
Come
we
on,
go.
Jack.
This big hook.
This is huge. He needs this, I tell you what. So slippery. He's just loading up the forks there with the back brake off. And 5
points, 30 points. Ooh.
Well, look,
40 for Carthy.
it's so slippery up on that point. I swear you roll the dice no matter how good you are. And he's
So look at that. We've got
Progression there.
Longueras in 130, but Carthy he's made it possible to get onto the podium. I don't know about a win.
yeah.
If he can do 60 on each section and the other guys don't get anywhere
Drop it.
near it, then that. However, the Chengdu section I think is
It's doable for everyone.
Is doable for everybody, and
Yeah. Wow. Was not expecting this. Yeah.
no. Totally open. If Jack had done a clear 60 on there, that would have
Maybe
been
opens it up, but
opens it up. But
I'll tell you what, the Spaniard, he is looking exceedingly strong. Don't you reckon? Yeah.
oh yeah,
All right. So the big man from Sweden's got nothing to lose now. He's in 6th position right now as we stand, coming into the second last section.
and this is where Naiman is good
Yeah.
on the
He
blocks.
will eat this stuff up because he is an absolute beast. Look at that.
You
That
can
hook.
actually see his body language a whole lot more positive. And
Yep. This is completely vertical. Wow, I'm
Oh,
surprised he
taking
took the point. Maybe that what's after this? Maybe there's something technical. No, he just didn't want to do it. Fair enough. He progresses through the section nonetheless. He doesn't get the 10 points for that gate, but only goes to gate 3.
this is a difficult hook. It's so narrow.
Yeah.
And that's also really slippery when you see as the bike rolls back, that front tire does pull
And
backwards.
he's done it. No problem. Manual's out. The thing is, like, you've just got to load up that fork so much. Get so much
Yeah.
pressure onto that front tyre. So they're going in reverse now from the semi-finals. Quite a different line. Now, what is he going to do here? This is a huge move. Look at that.
Oh, I think that would have damaged the spray job on that new frame quite a bit.
Someone's not going to be happy, but... yeah, he's furious. Because, to be honest, he can do that move. But
he can easily do that move.
again, when you hit concrete, you've got completely wet, muddy tyres.
And also, the one thing about that Chengdu section, although it's concrete, those angles, as we said in the ladies'
Yeah.
race, the angles make it twice as
Wow.
hard. As you can see there,
I
he's not
guarantee you-
kicking off anything straight. Everything is like,
Yeah,
either
an
going
angle.
from round to an angle or round to a
Yeah.
corner, for a corner to round.
Yeah, you're so right.
Makes it so much harder.
And I think in the dry, that would have stuck. I think. Gilles will definitely go for this, without doubt. The French are amazing. At the vertical switch, wow.
Oh,
Wow. Not happy. French rider is not happy. I hope he didn't break his hose there. No, the frame is okay. The bike's okay. I'm stunned. I can't believe that you didn't get that.
I think this course is so much harder than what it actually looks.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it looks hard.
The
And
team, I mean, it does look hard, but I mean, if you see these riders, these are the best in the world, and
yeah.
they destroyed the course yesterday, and
Yeah, to be
today
honest-
it's...
I mean, when I was riding yesterday, I thought it was the hardest sections I've ever seen. And this is next level. Wow, look at that. Perfect. All right. He's here to do his job. Let's see what Nico can do.
I know Nico is good at these hooks.
Yeah. I thought Gilles was too, though. Bit unlucky. Here he is, firing himself up. Full gas.
Look
Come
at
on,
that
Nico.
force in his legs. You can see his quad muscles.
Yeah, he's strong
pushing.
now, huh? Gas strikes at the back there. Look at the tyre completely folded to the rim. That's because all his weight's on the
Yes!
front. And he has done it. Yeah, Nico. So good to see. And, like, you can't imagine how hard it is to do a switch completely vertical like that. It's amazing. Just using that little bit of, see that little hole in the side of the pipe there?
Yeah.
Any advantage when it's that steep.
So look at that angle. Look at how his chest
Sticking.
and waist right in over
Yeah.
that stem,
Yeah.
like holding it super tight.
All 85 kilos bearing down. Just loading up. See that? He's just loading his forks up with the back brake off. Struggling here a bit. Yeah.
Oh, taking the point.
Think smart. The trouble is when you're in a vertical switch like that, the longer you're in hook position, the more you lose energy because it's like a static hold, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Can he have the energy to do this move here? Maybe to front. Whoa!
Oh, straight to back.
Straight to rear.
Showing
Wow.
that it's possible, showing the powerhouse Nyman that, no,
That's how
you
it's
can
done.
do it.
And to front, wow, it just holds on there. How much time? 15 seconds. Bossing it here. Look at this. Can he get out? 9 seconds. I don't think he'll get any more points. He'll ride out with 40 though. And I tell you what, that's a win from my books.
Yeah, what a ride for him. So if
right.
Carthy can get the full 60,
Wow, yeah, he'd be up in second, equal second.
yeah,
Geez, there you go. He's not out.
definitely not out of it.
Yeah, as soon as you write him off, he comes back. So, but he's the man in the lead, the Spaniard himself. Everyone's chasing him. Wow, wow, wow. That's
Oh,
a 5,
5
surely.
points.
Wow.
0. What?
Oh no! Oh,
This is insane.
wow, what a shambles. That's
If
huge.
Carthy puts down a clean run,
It is anyone's race.
it's anyone's race. And we still got Hermans on the course.
Wow, yeah.
If
Yeah.
Hermans puts in a clean run,
In 6th place, he could come back.
he's coming back.
And he's through first gate, yeah, good. Wow, Sergey. Sergey will be absolutely gutted. But he has to pick it up. He's only got one section to go. All right, vertical switch. Here we go. Look at that. Look at the angle of the bike. It's amazing how strong the forks have to be, isn't it?
It is insane.
So we're speechless in the commentary box here. We don't know what to say. It's just so stressful.
This is insane, and this just shows the sport of trials how it's never over till it's over. Yes!
Oh, wow. Surely,
So,
surely that's Vincent gone now.
Yeah,
But again, it's still up to the last section.
yeah, I mean, 60
still
in
got
the
10
last
points?
sections puts you on 120, Valise on 120.
Yeah, 10 points. Yeah, all 3 people on 60.
So,
Look at Jack. Look at the attack on him. Just rolling it, no break. Almost like an egg roll up there.
but this one isn't easy. Caught so many people off guard.
Oh, Jack is amazing at this, though. No No matter how good you are, it's wow. Look at the
Yes.
strength. So
That
dominant.
speed, and this is what's important because he does need to get through all of these. But it is
Again.
trial, and anything can happen.
20 seconds in. Well, 30 seconds in now.
He needs
Look at that
he
front wheel
needs
slipping.
60,
Wow. His front wheel was slipping so much then.
and he still did it. And how's he going to handle this one? Is he going to go to front? Is he going to go straight to back?
Wow.
He hooks it as well.
Yeah, okay. Why not?
If he's comfortable
My
with the move, he knows he's got
God.
20 seconds. My hands are sweating.
I'm
here.
sweating as well, yeah. Wow, he's going to try this move. He's going to try the hook to get up there. So confident with his hooks, he goes that way.
Yes.
My God, Jack Carthy. This is why he's world champ so many times. Just never gives up. Look at that, 50 seconds left. One more. Two more obstacles, sorry.
Two more gates.
Can he get the last 10 points? This is definitely
very,
worse
very
for his
difficult.
foot. And he's done it.
Yes, he's just got the
Wow.
kicker.
Oh no, just this fine, there's an inch he's got here. You'll see where the time mark has to go. On the right. Look at that. 60 points.
He's out with
60
25
points.
seconds to spare.
What?
60 points.
My
Woo,
God.
it's opened up the race. We are.
Wow. Andre Burton there losing it. Cannot believe what he's just seen. Wow.
So,
Wow. It's
anybody's
open.
race.
It's open again. Come on, Jack. What a beast. No one was near getting that section. Just
Nobody
Jack.
was close, and he did it.
That second last gate, that white obstacle, that is so much worse for the left because it's
Oh,
it's
yeah.
higher on the left side. Okay, last section for Joachim. Nothing to lose. No one's out of this race now. Anyone could make podium. It's very slippery here, guys. This looks easy, but doing that turn there is very, very difficult.
Yeah,
And to be
for
honest,
sure.
it's probably the easiest part of the section.
Naaman actually made that look very easy, but he does have a lot of power, and just using that to get nice and high up onto that obstacle.
Yeah. Right, so he's working his way through here. This is perfect so far. And he's fast too. And that new bike of his. Again, lots of vertical switches in this event.
Vertical hooks.
Yeah.
Oh,
2 points.
2 points.
And doesn't get the score. So still on 10. But again, it's chasing the time limit, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Only got a minute left and only through 2 gates.
Hard press. Straight to
Ooh,
back
straight
wheel.
to back. However, the
beast.
final gate is very, very quick, so you can never write
True.
off that. Yeah.
True. I think there's a kicker at the end, isn't there? Look at this. Just keeping the control, keeping his composure. Only 48 seconds to go. Look how soft they are on the bike there. Just
Just
delicate.
landing smoothly.
Okay.
And it takes a lot of power to land as smooth as that, because you've got to be able to catch your weight
Yeah,
and
exactly.
hold it. Look how he's fighting that bike, holding on. Look at the elbows.
Right.
Oh, taking the
Yeah.
dab.
So there was a few options with that gate, and again his wrist. Remember I was saying he had that injured wrist. He landed on it very hard in the water section. He's still going though. 20 seconds to. Yeah, he's feeling it. He's done.
He's done.
He's
That's
done.
hurting.
Well done to him. He rode very, very
Also
well.
knowing that he would have needed 60 points in that
Yeah,
section to
I think he's in a
to
lot
get
of
to
pain.
the podium, and
But fifth at the
knowing that
moment.
he hasn't. Yeah.
Well done from the big man from Sweden. Definitely someone to be in the contest in the future, and he's actually working full time as well as riding too. So again, it's very hard to compete with these people that are
Yeah, he works. He
logistics.
he
Yeah.
rides. He trains in the gym. He does a lot of powerlifting.
Yeah.
I mean, that does obviously help for his riding, but it's one of his sports too. So definitely a very versatile athlete.
Yep. Yeah. Amazing. Okay, Gilles.
So 60 points for Gilles here.
So yeah, he needs a big score here.
Would put him on 150 if he had to get 60 points, and that's going to put him in the lead and put the pressure on some of the other riders, being Carthy, Vali, and Longueras.
Yeah, geez, so tight at the top there. Gilles on 100 points now. Live scoring there, and then you've got 120, 120, 130. So, my God. All right. Another
Gilles
vertical
actually
switch.
looking not as comfortable on these vertical hooks as what he usually does.
Yeah, normally he's really solid, but
very solid. You can see they're kind of fighting with a bike.
Again, it could be the brakes, maybe. I don't know.
Doesn't seem to be. It just seems to be. It takes a lot of force to do that,
Commitment.
and maybe just
commitment.
not committing enough.
Yeah.
Because not getting the full 60 on that.
Wow, look at this. One hop to front.
So smooth.
The French are great at that move, front to back like this.
If you had to ask me to do that, that would be a very scary thing to do. I'd rather try and hook it and pull or something.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they are the best in the world. They are here, the top 6 riders, yeah.
Now look at this. He's just shook his hand off, just getting the lactic acid out of his forearms. Look at the control there.
Oh, keeping it, fighting it. He's going to go for this big gap.
Wow, look at that.
Yes.
That's like 3 meters there in the air.
Saving a lot of time.
It's fantastic. Wow, this is harder in reverse this time. So a much bigger gap to front wheel. So
And also going off that
the angle's
really
horrible.
difficult angle.
Wow. That is, yeah.
Yeah, very difficult.
Yeah,
So it's
no
kind
words
of going,
required.
as you can see, that U from the UCI
Come on. Oh, no.
and the U from the UCI having to get to that tower.
Oh.
It's going from a corner, so it's an angle,
Yeah.
but then it's also you're going off the corner
Yes.
of the angle. So
So
just
as
to
soon as-
line up that bike is virtually impossible.
As soon as you preload, it sends you left. You
Yeah.
have to go right. But that's the end of Gilles for the final. And what's he on? He's currently in 2nd place. But I think it will be hard pressed for him to stay.
Yeah, definitely very
Surely,
hard to stay. We've
surely
got
Nico will get some points here.
Vali will definitely get, he has
least
to
10.
get at least 20 points to.
Yeah, to push into the lead. It is anyone's race here now. Nico, ooh, he missed the gate there.
He did.
I told you it's harder, yeah. It's really, really slippery, this
So
pipe.
the issue with that
It's turning on back wheel and
is
going through the-
time.
Yeah, that's right. Wow. See, that's the trouble. He was rushing. Maybe
He
a bit
did,
too
yeah.
much. Bit too much.
And that's the key thing with this. These riders need to keep an eye on that clock and make sure that they use that 20 seconds per gate.
That's
That's
only 20
all you
seconds.
have.
And you're talking about lines that most of the best riders in the world would take many attempts to get, but they have to get it in 20 seconds.
It's pushing things very,
Yeah.
very hard.
Yeah.
All right.
Red line.
Well, look, this hook is not actually so easy. We mentioned that
It's
Gilles
harder.
didn't look comfortable on it, but
I think it's harder than it looks, yeah.
Yeah.
There's less material where your front wants to sit.
yeah.
Okay, what's he going to do here? He's going to go the hook as well? Maybe. Yep. Nestle in. Get
All right,
comfortable.
so 48, 47 seconds left. 20 seconds on the board. He's going to want to get at least 30 on the board there.
Yeah, he's the live leader on the course at the moment. Can he hold on though? He's going to go to front wheel. Yes, look at this. Oh, he got the point on the bash pedal. Pedal or bash, should I say. Danger word. Come on, mate. Here we go. Big jump up here. Okay, look at the angle. See, that's what you were talking about
Yeah.
there.
Just to get onto the back wheel from that, super
at the
difficult.
control.
Oh, nicely done there.
Oh, just around the gate there. 9 seconds. He's got to go. He's got a flat chat. Oh, front to back.
Whoa.
Wow. Talk about commit to the line, huh?
If you have to say move of the day, I'm giving it to his bike for the backflip. I mean, that was...
Wow. And what's he on? 160. That could be something to contend with. That could be it.
Yeah, 160. So
Jack Carthy needs 40 to equal his score.
yeah, so Jack Carthy needs 40 points.
And Sergey needs at least 30 or 40. No, yeah, he needs 30 as well.
He needs 30, yeah.
So, look, 3-horse race here.
And everything's getting a whole lot wetter and
Yeah,
more
the
difficult.
rain. Wow, look at this. Here he goes.
Come on, Sergi.
Who are you betting on now, mate? I don't know.
I don't know. It's an
Sergi,
open race.
maybe.
Anybody
Sergi.
could take it. It's the most exciting of the year.
What a climax. What a
But
great
Sergi's
season.
got he can smell that rainbow jersey, and he's
Yeah, it's elusive, yeah.
he's right there. You know, he's
dangling,
He's
yeah.
got that lead. He's going to fight. If there was a bit of fight in him, he would use it. But if
Yeah.
there's a lot, he's going to use it all. So,
He's got to let rip here. Here we go.
all right, look at this. Nicely controlled. Look at that focus.
Super calm. And he's done it.
Done it.
All right. All right, he's getting closer to that lead now. Jeez, Nico. Nico
1
must be
minute
nervous
left.
in his boots watching this. He needs to get through all these posts. Just these posts. I think he can do this. Wow, straight to back
Straight
wheel.
to back. Nice.
Look at that control. Front wheel spinning. Precision there. Look at the crowd.
Keeping
They're
it,
just...
turning that bike on the back wheel.
Oh, look at this. What's he going to do? Okay, he's going to do it with the front gap, I think, because there's a few options here. You either go
Yeah.
to back wheel with the
But
black.
there is
to rear.
one
Here we go.
small thing that we're looking at, and that is time. He's got 30 seconds.
Oh, he's done it.
He's done it. Holds it. Nicely done.
Well, I think he's in the lead. Yeah,
He is in the
170.
lead. 170. You can see there in the live timing.
He's just got to
So-
put Jack out of the race now, because
So-
Jack can still beat him if he doesn't get this. Wow, this is huge. This is absolutely huge. 10 seconds. Can he do
So,
it?
yeah.
Oh, geez, I don't know. Oh! 5.
60.
He got
He's
60.
made it.
I don't know whether he got 60. The observer put up 5. But I don't know. Wait. Jack Carthy confirming. Yeah, see? I think that I saw 5.
Yeah, 5 points, so he didn't.
Wow, so it's still in the race.
It's still in the race. It's 50
Wow.
points.
He was celebrating too early.
Oh,
But he rode through it. He had 8 seconds left, and he got through that. But well, I guess he didn't get through.
talk of commitment.
Okay,
That's
so
giving it
what have we got?
everything
what do we
you
got on the
can.
points? So 120. So he has to get 60.
Carthy has to get 60 points.
Has to get 60. My
This
God,
is insane.
it's possible.
It's possible. But
Man.
one mistake from Carthy, and
All over. And Vince now is just trying to. He can still. Nah, he can only get 4th.
he's not going to get. He's
Fourth
not
only.
going to get on the podium. Even a full 60 would put him on the podium. But
Yeah.
he definitely.
riding-
He definitely doesn't want to finish in 6th place.
Nah, he's riding
Not
bravely
for
now.
multiple world champion. He's He's riding for.
These
a lot.
guys, yeah, they come here to win, don't they?
Yeah.
So, but let's watch. Let's see what Vincent can do. But I'm sure, like you are at home, like we are in the commentary box, we are very, very tense here
Oh
because
yes.
it's right down to the last breath, last gasp.
We might have to just go stand outside and catch our breath for a second because this is just getting over the top.
Yeah. All right, dropping a point there. Again, that switch is hard, huh?
Yeah, very, very difficult.
All right.
But we do know that,
At least we've got, well, yeah.
I mean,
top
Vince,
2 at least.
Vince going through, he's going to want to go for everything here. But
Yeah, 50 seconds left though. Look at that textbook. Absolutely perfect. It's just, again, the time. Time's a killer.
time, look at that. We just do know that the guys need to move so quick. It's such a long section. We know it's possible.
He'll go
and
to
we
front.
do know that.
Yeah, look at the
Yes.
lock. Look at that
Oh.
lock. I tell you what, kids at home, that is exactly what you want to be trying to practice. Maybe not that big, but right
All
on the
right,
angle.
up to front. He's got 21 seconds left. Only 30 points on the board, but I'm sure he can get 40.
Clean. Yep. You got points there. And okay,
Okay, so
40 points.
40 points.
Nah, he had a time, I think. 1 point. Didn't get the points, but he rides out of the section. Still a great final. He won't be happy.
40 points.
Definitely
at once.
not happy.
Finishes on 100. 5th place.
Yep.
Great ride.
Got some digits and yeah. Well done, Vince. I know you won't be happy, but
But
Okay.
here it is. The
everybody
big one.
hold your breath.
Hold your breath. The most insane start.
Oh my God.
The most crazy pressure. If ever there's been
Look.
pressure on Carthy, this
Look,
is it.
Look, anyone else I wouldn't
One
be
mistake.
Yeah, anyone else I wouldn't be like, oh, he can do it, but Jack can do this. He can do 60 points.
He can, and he can do it in time. Look how quick he's moving through there. Just
Yeah.
taking
Wow.
only 10 seconds to get through the first gate.
It's like watching a video game. Like, he's just so perfect.
Yeah, but it wasn't in the beginning. So
Oh, yeah. That's why we're in this position, aren't we? Yep, we're good.
we're good.
No point.
10 points. All right. So
Okay.
Still
Cool,
perfect.
cool.
Still 20
in it.
points. It's
Still-
not that we're calling for Jack. It's not that we're calling for Sergi.
No,
it's
it's
just
just intense. Yeah. Look, yeah, whoever wins here, I'm happy, but yeah. It's okay. He got
Oh.
around the gate, losing some time, But he's still got time, though. Keeping his cool. He's still on the
Keeping
box
it
seat.
up there, yes.
Look at the power. All right, so he's going to do the hook as well. 1 minute to go.
1
actually,
minute, 30 points on the board.
he needs to get this clean. The bash did not hit, so it's
Yes.
still clean. 10 points.
40 points.
Wow. Oh, my goodness. This is unbelievable. Come on, Jack. Wow. Wow. He can do this. He's got time to focus and try. This is the World Championship move
And
right
he is
here.
good at these.
World Championship
He is
move.
good at this. Can he do it?
Oh, you are kidding me? You are kidding me? 20 seconds to go.
He's
World
the world champion. Can you believe it? How
Wow.
did he do that?
Wow. It's like Sergi was celebrating. He won, and
He
then
won. That is
1
the most
second he gets a
amazing
5.
thing. That is
Wow, that is the tightest final I've ever seen.
my heart, my
Tingling.
everything. Everybody in the crowd is
Jack
just dead
Carthy
quiet.
wins.
They don't know how to
The
express this.
the poor
he
Spanish
is-
team. The Spanish team are absolutely devastated, but
What
Sergi.
a race! And I've got to give it to Sergi. He
man, he rode. with-
rode the perfect race,
did.
perfect consistency, kept it going through all
He
the
did.
sections.
But once again, Jack, completely out of the game. Like we wrote him
Out of
off.
it. He
we
was
wrote
done.
him off.
We both of us said it's not
Yeah.
going to happen. I mean, after 2 sections, he was on 20 points.
Oh wait, what's this? What's this? Are they reassessing something or? Ooh, is this a bit of drama here? Wow, we wow. What more can happen in this World Championship final?
Yeah,
Someone's saying something. I don't know. Like the observers. I know Sergi's is saying he hit his pedal. Yeah. He's contesting it, I think. So you got Peter Fish there, the big UCI man, #1 trials guy. Wow, Peter Fish might call it. Wow. This is some drama.
there is drama. Can you believe it?
We don't know what's happened yet, but it doesn't look good for Jack. Well, I still don't know what's happened though.
Yeah, we're waiting to hear.
Well, Sergi's not going to answer to that. Commissaire, okay. It's gone to the commissaire. Instant replay? Is it like cricket now? Like, yeah. I don't know, yeah.
Well,
So-
this is.
if anyone-
if ever there was a nail biter, well, the nails are gone, the fingers are gone.
And it's just...
I'm about to
Some
do.
stumps.
I'm about
Yeah.
to chew off the hands right now.
yeah. Okay, here we go. So in case you've just tuned in, you've missed a massive final. But if you're confused as to what's going on, we're about to find out whether Jack Carthy from Great Britain or Sergi from Spain has won the UCI World Championships. It's down to the nail biter, like
Yeah.
on the last obstacle. So, well, maybe he hit his pedal, I don't know. I don't think he did. I remember we did pause, didn't we? We were sort of
Yeah, we looked at it, but
Okay, well, the referees are looking at it now. So this is some of the highlights from the comeback from Jack. Thinking he's won, he's jumped over the fence, celebrated like Sergi as well.
yeah,
Sergi celebrated the win as well. So, at the end of the day, the observers, look, jumping over the fence.
well, in the end of the day, it doesn't matter where it goes. Sergi, Jack, both.
They both deserve it, to be honest.
Yeah, Jack, the fight back is amazing.
Yeah. All right,
Sergi,
we wait now. We just wait, I guess. Whew. Yeah. Yeah, and as you can see, that's the obstacle right there that you see in the middle of your screen, right there on the UCI section. Now we just wait. Who knows? Could Sergi? He's won it from Spain. Sergi's got it. He must have hit his pedal. World champion 2019. There he is.
can you believe it? Well
Wow.
done,
My God.
Sergi.
Well, he did celebrate first. He got first dibs, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, his sister there in tears. Other teammates. This is a dream come true for the Spaniard. And no one expected it.
no one expected it, and
Wow.
it was the
And Jack's dad there, furious. I'm sure Jack is furious. Like, imagine you get given it and then you lose it.
That is just
I can't imagine. You can't imagine the feeling.
gut-wrenching for these poor guys.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
I mean, it was so close. It would have been awesome if it had ended without the question. But,
Yeah.
you know,
Wow, Jack. Was Jack? Oh, yeah, because he would have fived. No, that doesn't make sense. Wait a minute.
yeah, that's...
Did he five early in the set? Maybe he fived, not just a dab. Because we were thinking he lost 10 points, which meant he would have been on 170, not 180. But he's in third now.
Yeah.
They must have given him a 5.
They must have given him a 5 for that section, yeah.
Maybe his front axle went over a bit of tape or something. I don't know, but I didn't see it. Still no confirmation in the commentary
All right,
box.
well, you can get onto social media to find out exactly what happened there.
Let us know.
Unfortunately, in the booth here, we don't have a clue, so let us know. So, what a race there. Highlights of...
Well, I think the most spectacular moment was seeing Nico's bike explode off there with like 2 seconds to go. But that was the best crash. But highlights, well, the last section with Sergi and Jack, it's
I mean...
history. It's like...
history in the making.
Absolute history in the making. But again,
I think
the comeback and then Sergi
that move from Sergi there, just pulling it straight over the rock. And
then also on the rock section, remember, for gate 1?
Yeah, gate 1.
He's the only one that got that clean.
No, Jack also.
Oh, sorry, Jack.
Yeah,
Jack
the
also.
Waterfall.
Yeah, makes sense. And he got the kicker too. Yeah.
I mean, Sergi just riding so well.
Look at
throughout the
this.
whole-
This was so good, wasn't it? It's fluid.
Yeah.
Fluid as. Yeah, well, we know who the winner is, though. It's the Spaniard.
Spaniard, and for the first time in a long time, Spain.
A long time. Yeah, when have they last won? I don't know. I can't remember. Here we go.
All right, so going
Interview
over to
time.
the interview of the winner here at the 26.
All right, here we go. Let's hear what happens.
Congratulations, 2019 UCI Cycling, Urban Cycling World Champion in mountain bike trials. How do you feel?
I mean, I'm speechless. It's like a dream come true because I've been training so hard for this. I started the year with an injury and a surgery. And yeah, it's been a long way here. I came with everything. I gave all I had and things work out well. So I'm so happy. I mean, I can't explain how happy I am right now.
Today with the start of raining, it was for sure a little bit more challenging. Do you have any obstacles or any section which was one of the sections which makes you nervous?
Yeah, in the section of Chengdu, there was that hook that I didn't know if I could do it, but I crashed at the first one, so I didn't make it there. That was the main mistake of my competition, but I did very good at the other section, so I'm super happy because I was able to keep the focus and finish it the best way possible.
Thank you so much.
There you have it.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's it. He did ride a superb race from start to finish. And kind of what I noticed is that he was just trying to score as many points in as many places as possible.
Yeah.
It wasn't about trying to get out. It was just about getting points on the board, and that's what counted in the end.
Yeah, it just accumulates over time, doesn't it? But, like, to be honest, he did dominate, really, through the whole event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it really was, and I think we both were a bit shell-shocked from that because
What do you
was
say?
one of the most tense events I've ever had to commentate on. I really still recovering, but well done to all the riders out
Absolutely,
there. What an amazing race. We'll be back in just a little while with the men's 20-inch, which also is going to be a nail-biter. That's going to start at 5 o'clock this afternoon, and we'll be back. So that's men's 20-inch here at the UCI Urban World Games, Urban World Championships, here in Chengdu, China. And we'll see you guys in just a bit. Nathan Mummery and myself, I'm Dylan Victor. Thanks very much, and we'll see you later. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
请各位助理裁判就位。
IP 赛事 Ironman Space Epic Waterfall 楼顶马拉松马，万达与中国公司积极在国内推广各项世界顶级赛事，包括 Ironman 世界铁人三项项目、中国杯国际足球
各位观众，还有5分钟，我们攀爬赛场的20英寸男子公主的决赛即将开始。 个续命。为你继续下去。那么各位观众，今天2019年都市冬天世锦赛超马比赛的最后一个世界冠军，将在接下来的20英里男子精英组车型比赛中产生。同样的，参加决赛有6位选手是在昨天的半决赛中总分排名前6的选手晋级。那么，参加决赛的6位选手将在场地内的5条赛道进行一轮的比赛，最终成绩相加，就将决出今天的20英寸男子精英组的世界冠军。On 3 minutes to the start now, just on 3 minutes to the start, we'll go live in 1 minute's time. A very good afternoon and welcome to the 2019 UCI Urban Cycling World Championships here in Chengdu, China for the 3rd time. As we get ready for the last of the trials finals here this afternoon. It is for the elite men in the 20-inch category. 6 riders will be going to war here across the 5 different sections. Total of 30 obstacles each section with a maximum of 60 points, 300 points up for grabs as the Kiss Cam get things going here in Chengdu.
Hello everybody and welcome back here to the UCI 2019 Urban Cycling World Championships here in Chengdu, China. And it's been an absolute nail-biter of a day. And I'm joined in studio here by Janine Jungfals, a lady who rode extremely well this morning in Chengdu. It's a city that is well renowned for the pandas, the heritage, some amazing food, traditions, and really is some of those hot pots out here on the streets are just to die for and relatively hot. So yeah, it is a city that I'm back at for the 3rd time. It's really is an honor to be here and to be able to experience all the rich traditions of a city of 17 million people. And we're here for the Urban Cycling World Championships, and that is the sport of flatland BMX, BMX park, and bicycle trials. Welcome, Janine.
Thank you, Dylan. Glad to be back, actually. So I look forward to seeing the 20-inch. It's going to be a really tight race, I think.
Yeah. So going down here to Tsinghua Park, and as you can see, the amazing sections that the UCI team have put together. Starting off with section 1 of 5, we've got the Pandas section, and that made up of the large boulders, very, very slippery, taking off sticky, difficult surface. We then move on to the the Wonder logs, and loads of jumps, hooks, all sorts of different obstacles in that. Going over to the Waterfall section, this one's difficult, extremely slippery and sharp rocks. not very high, but extremely tight and a lot of technical aspect. Then going on to the Chengdu city section. This represents the building culture and the construction culture of the city. Loads of discs, loads of narrow edges, and then going on to the rainbow jersey section of the UCI for the final section of the competition. So, Janine, what did you think of the competition? What did you think of the course coming first-handed from somebody who was out there? What do you think?
I think this year it's been a really good course build, actually. It's been really difficult for absolutely everybody. That's been the general feedback from all the riders, and that's what you want for a World Championship event, you know, like that's going to bring out the best rider.
Yeah, and I think with the little bit of rain that's come out, it's going to make it super difficult. So bringing our riders up on stage, these are our top 6 riders from the semi-final yesterday. We had Samuel Laverty coming out, qualifying in 6th place. Tight battle for that. We got Ion Arrieto from Spain. We got the defending world champion Thomas Pechaker from Austria. We got Dominic Oswald, the current European champion from Germany. And then qualifying in then Bora Conielos from Spain, qualifying in 2nd, and then qualifying in 1st place, our ex-junior world champion, Alejandro Montalvo, somebody who is a master on the bike, and especially when it gets super technical and slippy, I think Alejandro comes out with a good advantage. So going to be a good race. However, I do know that Thomas is pretty good in the wet. He even rides in the snow sometimes. So.
Yeah, they don't have the best weather all the time in Austria, do they?
So going into section number 1, this is the Panda Rocks. You'll see the riders making their way down there. Tell us a bit about the section and what's so difficult about this.
Probably the hardest thing about this first section is the floor. Like from here, looking at it, it looks amazing. When you're on ground, it's just up and down. Like it's wet as well. The rocks, they're quite smooth, so you've got to really look at where you're putting your wheel placement. You've got tiny grooves on the rocks there, so they've got to be very accurate on where they put their wheel placement. If they don't, then they're going to slip off, like what we saw in what Jack did in that first section.
Yeah, and you got to get it exactly spot on, not over or not high. And they're also very, very high. Coming from last year, they've almost added a rock on top of everything else, so the height has gone up quite a lot.
Yeah, exactly. So they're going to have to really get their game on if they're wanting to win today.
Yeah. All of those towers are well over 2 meters up. I mean, the high towers of this section. So in comes Samuel Laverty, 6th ranked rider, just making it into the final. A huge battle for that 6th spot. And he's got this big side up on. Oh, look at that, so smooth. So the riders have 6 gates to get through, or 6 obstacles to get through. So as you can see there, getting through in between those arrows, and the riders have to make their way through from arrow 1 all the way through to arrow 6 and actually leave the section within the 2-minute time slot in order to get the full 60 points. However, if they move through the sections, they will be able to keep all the points they've earned. So Samuel in there has already got 10 points on the board, and he will get to keep that no matter whether he falls off now or gets further into the section. Then obviously he'll build on the 10. This hook is absolutely insane.
Yeah, it's huge, and as you can see, his back wheel's landing on that Panda face. That's paint, so it's not terribly grippy. Plus, he's taking off from a very difficult floor, so I mean, you've got to get your pedal strokes exactly right and really power off at the end. So he's having trouble with it at the moment, but hopefully he can get up because he's really good at pedal up, Samuel.
Yeah, he is, but this is one of the hardest pedal ups you can find anywhere, especially coming off. Oh, just getting that wheel on top. As you can see, he needed probably around another half a centimeter or something to be able to get that to the top.
Just has to get that front hooked over and he'll be on.
I think the guys next door have
using lots of valuable energy here to get up.
So I don't know if somebody can come
Still
and
15 seconds left for Laverty.
seem to keep putting it up.
Going to give it a last go here.
All right, so here he goes. He's only got 8 seconds left. He's got that one gate. Come on, he does it. No, coming off the side.
Ladies and gentlemen, Samuel Cavani. He'll take 2 points on Pandas.
As you can see, that rock's above that observer's head, so it's a big rock.
And not only is it above his head, the rock kind of rolls away. So it's one thing getting up there, but you've got to get the bike up onto that rock and kind of roll it further on and hook it on top. It's absolutely insane.
This is actually a very technical move because the rock they're taking off from is on an angle, so if they're not exactly right with their placement, the wheel will just explode off. So some people in semis actually had that issue, but these guys are making it look like it's easy.
Yeah, that is a difficult one. I was actually standing there when we did a course walk earlier, and just standing on that rock is really difficult because your foot just wants to slip left or right. So yeah, you're 100% spot on that it's kind of got to be on that point.
Yeah, exactly. The wheel placement is crucial in that one.
All right, here we go with that. Looking at a slightly different line, and everybody seems to be going the same line from this angle, and oh no.
See, he's just crossed the marker there, so they've given him a 5.
Yeah, it's definitely not an easy hook, that one.
And it's also been raining, so that little bit of moisture on those river rocks just make it like ice.
Yeah. And do you find that when it gets just a little damp, the soil gets more sticky on the tires?
Yeah, definitely. So you're dragging mud onto these slippery rocks as well. So, I mean, like I said, wheel placement is crucial in this section. If you just come a little bit too far to the left or right, you'll explode off these rocks.
Now we're on to Thomas Perhaker, and Thomas from Austria. He actually came out to Cape Town earlier this year, did some training down there. Incredible to see what this guy can do on a bike, and he has got huge power. This is one of his benefits, but will that help lining up for essentially what is a massive wall of rocks ahead of you?
Behind him now, it's the big one here to finish off obstacle number 2.
Come on, Thomas, let's hit this.
Oh, so close.
So difficult.
2 dabs, he's nearly there.
See how he kept one foot on the ground and one off the ground? So had he put both feet down, he would have 5'd.
Yeah, so very well saved there. All right, going for it one more time, not making it. So here we go, 3rd attempt at this. This is definitely one of the hardest sections of the whole course.
Oh, got the front hook over, very nice.
He won't get the points from the gate though, because he made that mistake, but now at least he can carry on. Hopefully get another 10 points on the board.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, no, Thomas.
How did he make that mistake? He'll be so upset with that, because just getting over that rock was a huge opportunity just to get that little bit extra on the scoreboard. But currently also just 10 points, putting in that extra effort, but unfortunately for him, just not getting the reward of the next gate.
Next up, your current number 1 ranked rider in the world on the 20-inch machine. It is Dominic Oswald.
So next up, we've got Dominic Oswald from Germany. Very, very powerful rider as well. Super smooth on the bike.
Yeah, Dominic's another rider who's got a very strong pedal up, so once he moves through this one and gets up to that next rock, I think he'll probably get up this. Yeah. I'm guessing, no worries.
I don't think no worries, but I think he might have it. He does have huge power, and this can be a great place to gain perhaps a little bit of advantage on Alejandro Montalvo, who perhaps doesn't have, and he does it first time. Yes. So that means, oh, you called it. You called
he's got
it.
a great pedal up technique.
And this is a great opportunity for him just to get a little bit of an advantage on Montalvo, because that's a big pedal up for Montalvo, who
Oh, nice bunny hop there. So that bank just leading into it, he just kicked it off that. So made good use of it.
All right, Oswald doing exceptionally well in this section. In fact, on equal score to the best scoring of the 26-inch riders through this section. Yes!
Nicely held.
Explosive power there from Oswald.
So 40 points on the board. He's still got 27 seconds to go. Can he make it a 50 or even a 60? This is another absolutely massive hook. Just look how big that is.
Oh, he's opted for the bunny hop. So he'll do a full pedal rotation and then kick her off that grass ramp leading into it.
Okay, here we go. Look at how much force. Oh, just not making it.
The grass was just absorbing his speed.
Yeah, you could see everything he was putting in just wasn't going forward. Although I do think he will be happy with that 40 points because...
Yeah, he's made it through the furthest out of all the riders so far.
Yeah, including the 26-inch riders. So we got Bora Conelos from Spain. 3 Spanish riders here in the final.
That's actually a different line to how he took it in semi-finals. He actually took a pedal-up technique, which was really smooth, and he did a brakeless line. Yeah, I didn't see any other rider do it apart from him.
Yeah. So going through very, very smoothly. That bike of his nicely matching his Spanish kit.
It's a very nice orange.
Yeah. So taking a different line from the other riders into this. Oh, look at that. What a good move.
Did you see that front wheel placement? It was perfect.
So putting the pressure down, also making it in, a minute 10 left. He's got a massive opportunity. I've got the sound booth coming down on my head here a little bit, so I'm going to have to hand it over to you, Janine, just to...
he's up over that rock now. Now he's lining up for that side hop. Dylan's having some technical issues at the moment, but he's getting it sorted.
Easy confidence from the second place in the semi-finals. Gripping his way up and over. Cornelius. Now for the big one.
And I'm back, and what a ride, 40 points, so this is huge. If he can get... yes!
Oh, no! That is... He's got to go over that.
No, so close.
Going over that just really messes up your rhythm. For him to be doing that and holding his speed is awesome.
No, knowing he's not going to make it out.
Effort.
I'm so far saying that is the most amazing move I've seen the whole weekend. Doing that bunny up over that platform, keep pedaling through all of that, roll it through, and still hit that kicker.
Yeah,
he has got some massive talent in him, doesn't he?
This young gun's one to watch. He was on fire in the semis.
Yeah. So up next we got Alejandro Montalvo from Spain. He's the current junior world champ. Well, not current anymore. He won the junior world championships last year. Whoa!
See, your wheel placement is so crucial on that. Just a little bit too far back and you just slide off. They're just so slippery, those rocks.
Definitely coming in here the favourite of the competition, and perhaps maybe a bit not overconfident, but underestimating how slippery and difficult these rocks are into this final.
I think also just that first section, everyone has first section nerves. Like usually, once you get that first section out of the way, you can ride freely. So I think maybe a lot of the riders are riding quite conservative at the moment. Once you get those jitters out, you're good to go after that.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so now trying a different line. Oh!
See that front wheel just hooking over on that little bit of the angle of the rock. It's just, you've got to be 100% accurate on it.
So 5 points for him there. That bike, the axis line of the bike crossing over that marker. He's out on 10 points. So after section number 1, it is very interesting. We've got in first place, we've got Bora Conelos, and second place Dominic Oswald. So, yeah, and then it's a four-way tie for third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. So it's going to be an interesting race. We're going into the second section, and still anybody's race. So, what do you find the hardest part of this section here, the Wonder logs?
Just everything's so skinny, so you've got to really be, your balance has to be spot on, or else you'll just fall off the log, and a lot of the markers are quite tight, so yeah, it's very, very important to keep your balance on these. But I'd have to say these first three sections, the floor's probably the most difficult, just because it's been wet. So to get any sort of drive is really hard out of these sections. Yeah,
the soil here was all imported. It wasn't the soil before, so this grass has all been planted down.
Yeah.
And it does make it very, very soft. So when you walk over that, your feet kind of sink in, and you can actually see that back tire of the bike. It's sitting kind of below the level of the soil itself.
Yeah, well, that water section, as you can see, is very muddy. I think some of the water's been leaking out. So it's not a lot of grip in that next section coming up.
All right, so 10 points so far on the board, but he has got 4 mistake markers. So four dabs for him, 4 mistakes. This is not a good run for Samuel. He's got 34 seconds left. He's going to want to get through as fast as possible so he can get into that.
He's held that nicely.
Yeah, very nicely, actually.
Well done.
I'd like to see him get through to the kicker. That's always really exciting.
For sure, the kicker. I wish they'd put more of those things. People love the kicker.
I love that they put it in for the women this year. It was awesome.
Yeah, and you hit it yesterday, went for it today.
Yeah, I did clean it yesterday. Unfortunately not today. I was really short on time when I got there.
Yeah, we saw you had to kind of rush in. Yes!
Oh, so close. He was dropping from about, 3 meters there?
Yeah. He kind of went almost too high and then came down and just not far enough. So it's really difficult because the riders will never have ridden this before. So everybody's going into these sections blind, if you want to call it. They will have ridden the sections in the semi-finals yesterday, but the gates are totally different. They change about 50% of the course up. So things like that big kicker, it wasn't in yesterday's race, only in today's race.
For the men, yeah.
For the men, yeah. And I think they increased the heights of the ladies' one, if I'm not mistaken.
No, they did for the 26-inch men.
Oh, for the 26. Okay, yeah. So they increased.
Sorry, the juniors, yeah.
The juniors, yeah. Oh, nicely done there for Ian.
He's such a smooth rider, Ian. I love watching him.
He makes everything look super easy, but this is how... Oh, look at this. A totally different technique. What's he going to go for?
Strategic dab.
Clever. So, strategic dab, basically realizing that perhaps that one is a bit risky for yourself to even attempt.
Yeah,
and, falling off it, you're not going to gain any more points in the section, and there are slightly easier gates to get, so taking that dab.
Yeah, exactly. As you saw earlier, Samuel was struggling to get the drive out of the grass, so he's saving time so he can get these last few gates.
Oh, no.
Not easy. Still 50 seconds left.
So essentially in this, each rider has only 2 minutes to get out of the gate. We have mentioned that, but if you've got the 6 sections, it means that you've only got 20 seconds each. Do you ever watch the clock while you're going and try to understand, or do you just kind of keep track in your head?
I kind of have a reference point about just halfway, just past, just to see where I'm at. Because before I enter the section, I want to have an idea of where I am. Like, I want to have about 20 seconds for the last obstacle, so then you can kind of gauge it. But different riders operate differently.
Here we go, big kicker.
Oh, held nicely.
Yes, 50 points. Huge ride, solid ride for Ian Arieto, and taking that strategic dab definitely paid off for him. Getting 50 points on the board, that's massive in a competition where we still haven't had a 60-pointer yet. So, 60 points. No, sorry, that is an error. So 60 points in total for Ion Arieto, not 60 for the section. Okay, so Thomas going through. Thomas is very good at these logs. We know he rides a lot of it back home in Austria. And this is a difficult one. In fact, one of the junior guys, I think, rides this better than almost anybody. We got young Charlie Rolls, who won the World Championships here this morning.
Very smooth, the little
Flying through. Oh, he didn't pass through the gate, so he has to go back and drop down and do the gate for the second time. So as you can see here, he's going to have to hop on. This is wasting a whole lot of time.
The floor he's taking off from is just a mud pit, but...
So look at this now. He's got to, as you can see from that other camera angle, get that bike into that position. Look where his waist is. His feet can't cross over. Get that tire right to that edge.
So his pedal is really high. That's such a difficult lift. He did really well to get that.
But that would have taken a whole lot of energy. Now we know Thomas is strong. 20 points on the board. But look at the time. He's only got 36 seconds left to do this in. So he's really got to keep it going.
Just couldn't quite get his timing out of the grass there.
Yeah, and that's the most difficult part. You can actually see there's a kind of a change in the texture of the grass between there. So you see pedals.
Oh, it's made it nicely.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that
But
was...
he's got
Oh,
a...
no, he must have touched on the way through. Haven't given him the 10 points.
He's got to get going. He's running out of time. Is he out of time?
He's out of time, yeah.
So 30 points. He's not going to be happy with that.
He's very good at kickers. He would have got that last line.
Oh, yeah. So 40 points for him. So it's going to take a lot of a fight for the defending world champion to come back. But as we know from the men's 26, it is all possible, which turned into one of the tightest battles we've ever seen on a trials bike race.
That was something different, that. Very exciting.
All right, so Oswald looking so solid on the bike here today. Just kind of really feels like his balance is just on point.
Oh, yeah, definitely. He's, I think he'll get this no problem. Another nice pedal up for him.
Well, you called it earlier, so... Oh.
Maybe I fluked the first one.
So yeah. So basically the hard part, you can see like a rut forming on in the grass there. They have to pedal up that log, which is very narrow.
Oh, that was perfect.
You definitely didn't fluke it. I'm taking everything you say, and it's the right way. You know your stuff. So this is super high. Can't tell you enough how difficult this actually is. Just look at that takeoff. You can see how this is a good view to be able to see how difficult that the floor is off what they're pedaling. Oh, trying to go straight to back wheel.
He's going to go for the strat dab now. I think he's got to save the time and get the rest of the gates.
Yeah, he knows he's only got 40 seconds left. All right, clever there. So 30 seconds, and let's see if he can make it to the top. From here to the end, it is relatively quick, and especially seeing as that kicker gate only takes a few seconds.
5-10 seconds. Well, he's got to keep moving. He's only on 15 seconds now, and he's still got this roll down and the side up to go.
That was a very fast way of doing it. Going for the straight to back, being able to hold that.
I think he might run out of time here.
Can he get up? Just running out of time there for Oswald. So it's 30
Oh, I wanted to see that kicker so bad.
Wonderlock section.
He's not happy. I know he can get that kicker. So.
Yeah. So we got Oswald in the lead on 70 points, but we do still have Montalvo and Cunelos.
That's the thing with these sections. They're also they're quite long, so you can't have 2-3 attempts at an obstacle. You just don't have the time for it.
No, you really got to keep it going. And I think speaking to Danny, who from the UCI is very involved with the building of the course, I think that was one of the objectives, to make it that the guys really have to go. You can't hang around in a section, you can't wait. And did you find that different here to competitions in other places in the world? Well, not that you've raced a lot this year. Let's exclude this year. We know you haven't raced at all this year, but in other years racing in Europe.
Yeah, like I think this has definitely been one of the longest ones. It's good though because it means you don't just hang around and try and you waste 20 seconds on one obstacle. You have to just keep moving and get the flow going. So it's a good strategy from Danny.
So Bora using a different technique. They're actually using the bash guard of the bike. So meaning that as he got the bike onto that log, he just landed with the bash guard, let the bike rest on the obstacle. That counts as a dab. And
some really nice technical riding there, just holding it and turning.
So he gets a point against him for that hop to crank, but he definitely gets the point for this. But he's still got, look at his time, he's still got 45 seconds left to get to the top here.
He's very tall and long, and he's good at kickers, so my money's on him getting this.
Yeah, he's going to get it. I believe he will pull this one off.
Oh, tapping the front, that was super smooth.
That's it, 50 points.
This young gun's on a mission. I'd watch him.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. So 90 points on the board for him. What a ride. But the competition's still wide open. But what's interesting here is Montalvo needs a really, really good run to keep the competition wide open.
So the way they have the format with 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 going, I mean, it should be an advantage because you can watch people's lines and see what works, but depending on your mentality, sometimes it can be a bit intimidating, I guess, because you've just seen everyone get through and now it's you.
Yeah.
So you've got to be very strong-minded,
and also, it also
I
can
think.
be, it can add a lot to the pressure of the section itself.
Oh, definitely. You've got finals, you've got people watching, you're up to ride.
You want to keep that title and get a new title, as Montalvo very badly does want to do. Follow his junior world championship title with a senior, and it's a lot of pressure. Because Montalvo knows that he has to get at least 50 points just to stay in the game here. He won't even go into the lead.
Yeah.
Although he is moving nice and quickly on this. Oh, such good style. He does have amazing control.
Oh, his technical riding's amazing.
Moving aside to the left-hand side now, getting up and over.
All right, so here's the kicker. 30 seconds left. He can do it.
Oh, just...
No!
He's got 20 seconds. He's got enough time to get back.
How did he jump back to that? That is a huge jump.
He was just short. He just needs a bit more speed. Yes, held it.
Yes, nicely done. 50 points for Montalvo.
9 seconds remaining.
9 seconds on the clock. But what is amazing to me is him jumping back and saving that. I mean, what's that, 3 meters up?
That's somebody very determined to win. So
jumping 3 meters backwards and landing it.
It's going to be a tight race, I'd say.
Yeah. So Montalvo jumps up into third place on equal points to Arieto. So this is definitely by far one of the hardest gates. And I'm sure these guys would have watched the 26-inch race this morning and seen how Gilles really struggled. Taking a different line there, but you got to kind of keep that momentum going into the rock. How would you attempt this one?
I don't know if I'm good enough to attempt that one.
Yep. How would you in an ideal world?
Well, essentially where Samuel's going now is a good way to take it because he can just do one touch and then use the momentum to get his front hooked over. There was a little bit more room coming from that angle he's at now. See that? Yeah, that was perfect.
Very nicely done.
The 26-inch were really struggling just because it's so vertical. You just can't get your compression.
Lots of fans here for the young rider.
So nice for him there. he's got to keep it moving because it is a long section, and the second half is punishing, I think, physically, because you're fighting so many of these hanging rocks and sharp angles.
Yeah, definitely. You've got mud on your tyres, it's wet, you're hoping your brakes are working, and then you've got to try and find the right angle for your front to hang off. I think Benito broke his bike on this section in the semis, so...
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So 33 seconds left, 20 points on the board. Oh, 30 already. Oh, this is a good run for Samuel Laverty in section number 3. This is the Waterfall section.
That rock is so difficult. It's just on this serious angle. You just can't get a nice position on the bike.
How do you even stand there? Oh, very disappointed, but...
A lot of the guys have opted to actually use their second bike in this section just because you're going onto the concrete and you don't want to drag that mud and that, the water onto the next section. It's hard to get that grip.
Of Spain comes on to the Waterfall section.
Alright, so this puts a lot of pressure onto the riders to try and fight for that podium. Look how difficult that is.
There's just not a lot of space to get your bike in there.
So Ian taking a clever strategic dab. It's actually really difficult to even dab on that. Gilles Costellier earlier this morning just really struggling even just to put his foot down and move the bike through that. So Ian doing a good job there.
Yeah, he's ridden a lot of natural, so his technical placement is really good.
So basically in the new format of trials, in the past, if you put your foot down, you would lose a point. Now you still lose a point, but you can. It's about winning points or scoring points in the section. And the only way to score a point on an obstacle is to not put your foot down. So when you see them putting their foot down, it's taking that but losing the ability to score points.
Yeah, that's right. So you've got to pretty much do two things: get through without putting your foot down to get those points.
Yeah. And do you prefer the new system?
I think it is different, but I think as a rider, it's probably more fair because with the old format, you could get almost to the end and just 5 for silly little mistake, and you wouldn't, you'd be on the same points with someone who 5'd at the start. So this way you can collect points and then you'll be on 50, not 60, and it's just a fairer system, I think. Yeah. I think it's working well.
So Ian just not getting out of that really, really difficult gate, and that's the same place that Samuel Laverty really found it difficult. So that back run back up, I don't think I've seen anybody get through it today.
No, I don't think I've seen anyone either. We'll have to yell and cheer if we see someone get through.
Yeah. Well, Thomas is going to need to pull something out of the hat here. Lagging a little bit on the points, sitting in 6th place, although he's still got the run ahead of him. So if he can get a good 40 points on the board, it puts him right back there on the podium. Oh no!
His back just slipped on takeoff.
Thomas not having a good day at all. 0 points for him on section 3, and that really makes things very, very difficult for him. He's going to have to do basically 2 perfect runs into the final 2 sections to even stand a chance of getting onto the podium.
No pressure.
No pressure. But if I know Thomas has got a lot of power, he's got a lot of fight in him, and I do think that he's going to fight hard.
Last year in that UCI section, you remember his ride through there? That was stellar. The crowd was going crazy.
All right, Dominic onto the rocks, and I'm sure all the riders are super nervous about this section because there's just really no guarantees. We saw Charlie Rolls getting 0 points on the section. Also taking that strategic dab there. Look at the amount of focus he has. Oh, straight
Very
to
nice.
back. Totally different technique to what the other guys use. They use that hook, getting that front wheel over, and Dominic opting just to go straight to back.
Yeah, he's a very powerful rider, so he's utilising his power well. One thing that I love about his style is when he jumps, he'll let his back brake just roll for half a second up onto the obstacle. And it's just really super smooth. In these wet conditions, that's the type of precision you need. Because if
Yeah.
you just land straight on the brake, it's just going to slide.
So it kind of like helping that tyre find some grip.
Yeah, exactly. You've got to be quite soft on the brake, if that makes any sense.
All right, let's
That's
see.
perfect wheel
So
placement.
20 points. He wants to at least get 30 to equal Alavati on this section. Yes, he got through. The first rider to get through there. He's still got 24 seconds on the clock.
Oh, no!
No!
Ah, he's the first rider I've seen actually balanced on that log.
It's so difficult. That's definitely one of the most difficult spots on the course. So Oswald on 100. So he's only 10 points ahead of Cornelius, but Bora has got the whole section ahead of him. So he might be 10 points ahead, but Bora's got a lot of place here to make up score. But this is one of those sections.
Oh, perfect placement.
So fast.
His technical riding is just spot on.
Great riding here from Cornelius.
And that's one thing about Borja, is he's probably one of the fastest riders through most of these sections. He just doesn't wait around, he just keeps going.
And that's something that was interesting about Charlie Rolls this morning, is getting that momentum going, just keeping that momentum. It helps, it just makes balancing a little bit easier.
Yeah.
But it's a lot easier said than done. Just keeping moving isn't easy. It takes a lot more skill to keep it rolling and keep it moving.
Yeah.
But when you can do that, it's kind of like a little safer, almost in a sense.
Charlie Rolls makes it look way too easy.
Okay, 30 points for him.
But yeah, Charlie's style, definitely, it's perfectly suited for this current format, because you just got to keep moving or else you run out of time.
Yeah, a big hook here for Bora.
Just getting caught in that mud.
Is this even possible going through? You can see how wet and muddy that section is there. Yes!
See how he's left pedal and Dominic was right pedal? It might have been a nicer setup for the right pedal. Just his pedal was quite high and it was pushing his weight over, so he did well just to get up there.
Very good job, but it's 30 points for everybody so far. And this is where there is the opportunity for Montalvo to come back on to the top spot. If he can pull off a full 60 points in this section and have a perfect run, which I don't know if that's possible because this is a really tough section, it puts him right up there on the top spot with Cornelius, with Bora. Oh,
no.
On that bash ring. Okay, so 1 point on the two dabs so far, 2 mistake points, and 0 on the scoreboard. He will add to that. Montalvo looking a little bit to be struggling in these conditions.
Yeah, it's just been caught off guard a bit with the wheel placement, but the next two sections are going to be dry and they've got a lot of the hang moves, and he's a bit of a specialist on that, so he might be able to come back.
Yeah,
Just have to wait and see.
It's still a totally open competition.
Look at that very, very tricky rock now.
So only 30 points between the top three.
So on to 20 points now for Montalvo.
He's still got 55 seconds, so he's making good time.
Yeah, he is going very quickly.
Getting up on that rock, this is what's causing all the trouble.
He's just got to get his front hooked a bit further over.
Yeah, and it's so difficult to pedal in off that mud on the floor. You can see, and it's getting worse, causing some deep ruts. Yes, he does it. Look at that tire just like hooking on and holding on.
Shout from the crowd, ole, ole, ole.
Still got a bit of time.
Working up now, this is the difficult part.
Just got to watch his right pedal there.
Yeah,
It's
look,
very
it's
close.
close to that marker.
Oh!
Oh,
The back wheel just missed the rock. It's great effort though. That's one thing about Montalvo, he's a fighter.
yeah, he's going to fight back. So Montalvo on 80 points. And so that's after the third section. We've got Bora Conelos in first, riding for Spain. Dominic Oswald, second, riding for Germany. Ion Arrieto in third for Spain. And that's the top three so far. 90, 100 and 120 points. Just 30 points in it. And the next two sections are game changers because the whole style of the section changes. It goes from a very natural orientated section now into a kind of a more man-made section. So the whole riding dynamic changes of what the guys can do.
Yeah, definitely. So in this section that's coming up now, there's a lot of actual static hanging moves. So, I mean, it's not, I guess, as technical as the water lineup, but yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. There's some, these powerhouses that you're looking at now, they've got a good chance.
Yeah. All right, this is a... Oh! So this is a big hook to start with, and the difficult thing is slightly uphill takeoff, so yeah, pedaling up that slight rise to get onto that. Oh, there we go, taking so close to making it.
The 26-inch were really struggling on this hang.
And it seems like the 20-inch not finding it that much easier.
I think they should probably replace their forks after this competition.
Yeah. So basically what makes that thing so hard is it's 100% vertical, almost an underhang in a sense. It's just straight up. And hanging over there, that bike's almost upside down. You've got to pull your weight straight over.
Yeah, all the pressure's on the fork, so you pretty much just got to lock that front brake in. So he's struggling to get his position. And then your pedal's really high, which makes it an awkward position.
So look at that handlebar like tucked into the waist.
Yeah, so he'll probably come back and then try and lift over, but he's just got it in that groove, as you can see. Oh, going to rear!
Nicely done. That is a first. So 35 seconds, only 10 points on the board. And this is very, very hard. Look at how huge this is. How high would you say that is?
Very high. About a 6. Hanging that would be so difficult. We saw Joachim, he's the Swedish powerhouse. He tried to go to rear and just didn't quite make it.
Didn't make it, yeah.
That's going to look intimidating on a 20.
Yeah, Jack actually jumped that and...
oh no, going over.
Oh!
Hopefully he's...
Oh, okay, small injury, but well done to Samuel Lavati.
That just looks
finishing
like...
up on 80 points.
That just looks like a bit of fatigue at the end there.
Yeah, I think his arms were burning. Just all those hooks and all that hanging. And
there we go. From Spain now is Ian Arrieto. Looking at this first obstacle here in the Chengdu.
Okay, come on here. Oh, nicely done.
Holding it there.
Holding it, just keeping it up. As you can see, every move on these heights is just takes so much effort.
Takes the dab.
And that's the difficult thing with these hangs. They usually take a bit of time for setup. And with so many moves in the section, you really have to keep moving. So if you take too long, it's just you're not going to get through the rest of it.
Just not going to happen. And I think they would have watched obviously all racing today and seen that it's, you know, if that's going to just take too long, rather put your foot down, get through it, and try and get points where you can.
Yeah, exactly.
Getting up and over, well done. So another 10 points there for you.
All right. Oh, going to hook.
Very challenging section here.
Look at that position over the bike,
Using those forks.
using that fork.
Oh, nicely done.
You want to make sure your front wheel's tight when you do that move.
It's not a very good party trick.
Alright, so this another very difficult one. He's got to go up onto that front wheel.
Oh, that
He's
was
going to
awesome.
have to turn the bike around and then go up to the Chengdu Tower. Oh, so smooth film, Ewan.
Making light work of that.
Yeah, he's got 20 seconds left.
It's got the big hook coming up now from
Yeah,
memory.
this one is so difficult.
Also for a left pedal, just because of the angle. See how high his left foot is?
And as you were talking about setups, look how long it takes. It's time.
Yeah, just
all the way. 3, 2, 1.
40 points for him. I think he's going to be happy with that. That's a respectable score.
that was a great ride.
Yeah, really good ride.
That puts him on 130.
Okay, next up is Thomas Pechhager.
Thomas Pechhager.
So Thomas is very good at these things. He's definitely one of the most powerful riders out there. And when it comes to these power moves, he just seems to make it look easy. But
Biggest temperament oozing here.
yeah, like that.
Yeah, just like that.
So this static hook, let's see if he's going to take the dab or actually go for the line. He's going for it. No, taking the hook, taking that dab.
He's really got to collect some points, so if he just loses 10 points, that's going to be okay.
Yeah. Although if he wants to get on the podium, he needs to get 260 points. He needs to get 260 pointers, 2 clear runs, 2 maximum score sections.
Yeah.
Oh,
To rear.
so nicely done there.
If they go wrong, they're real frame breakers.
Yeah. All right, so let's see how he's going to handle this. Is he going to go hook? Is he going to go front to back?
To rear? Oh, to
Oh,
front! Very
to
nice.
back. Nicely done. I called that one.
Oh, alright, I'll pay it.
All right, so now we've got this difficult hook pull kind of to angles. You'll see having to get the bike onto the back wheel and then across. Nicely done. So the difficulty there is if you drop that front wheel, what will happen is it kind of, the downward angle makes it really hard to pull the bike back up.
Yeah, exactly.
Really hard to get it on the back wheel. And
But that first takeoff, he was going off a knife edge. So
Yeah.
if he's just too far back or forward, he'll just fall off it.
still 12 seconds left.
Really fighting the bike there to try and get
There's just
some
not a
sort
lot
of
of grip on that concrete.
5
And they
seconds.
painted it.
So bad. Yeah. They try to put some grip on it, but it didn't happen. So 40 points for Thomas. Points on the board. 80 points for him. So currently tied with Loverty, but obviously in his semi-final results and score on the board, he goes ahead.
There he is in the gate from Germany.
Dominic's got probably one of the best wall faces, I reckon.
Yeah.
Serious concentration.
Poker face. So also just like Thomas, very good at this type of move.
Yeah, like, his power is awesome, so he's probably well suited for this section.
Nicely done there, pushing through.
Good 10 points right there. Looking for the podium here today for sure, Dominic Oswald.
All the riders opting for that. All riders opting to take that dab. This is going to be interesting because
Turns it around now.
Montalvo's really good at those hooks, and if he actually goes for that, it can be an opportunity for him to get a couple of points and put him high up and perhaps onto the podium.
Yeah, exactly. I think Dominic's just trying to collect as many points as he can, so that's his strategy for the moment. It might put a bit of pressure on the other two.
Yeah.
Oh, just getting through.
So 0 on that, 10 points there. did make it through.
Bash guard just cleared.
Yeah, it was close. I thought it just caught, but it didn't. So if the bash guard of the bike or the crank's under the crank, there's a small bash ring. If that touches...
Up to back wheel! Oh, the German powerhouse is in the house.
That is massive.
Just that knife edge there.
Yeah, so smooth. He really does just float onto the obstacles, doesn't he?
Oh, they make that look so easy, and it's so far from easy.
Right, so is he going to go for this?
5 seconds.
So difficult.
You just need that extra bit of time for setup. Oh!
Oh!
If only he had 10 more seconds.
Yeah, that was amazing. So 40 points for him.
That was a really good ride.
Yeah,
It's keeping the pressure on.
for sure. Taking it into the final section.
Here's Tony Coswell. We've still got the 2 young riders from Spain.
And Bora has to put in a good run to really keep his lead here. So he only needs to score 20 in this to be able to stay in the lead. But
He's just lost that 10 points
he's
there.
lost the 10 points. So and there's a couple of moves in the beginning here where perhaps the power of Oswald maybe works in his favour.
But yeah, potentially. We'll just have to see. He might be going for this hook. Both he and Montalvo practice this a load. Just getting the tension on the forks. Oh, no!
0 points in the section.
He was committed to the ride, but yeah, that was just unlucky.
Oh, and I don't think that I don't think that was the most comfortable fall he's ever had.
Oh, going over the bars is never nice.
I think it was more how he landed on the bike.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that might have hit straight into the stomach.
I think there's been a lot of spills over the last few days.
It's going to change as they go into the last rounds. He'll be all business here. He's got what it takes to go clear for sure.
Okay, so Montalvo. Oh, look at that.
Perfect technique.
Look at this. That's a whole lot more motivation than what we've seen in the previous sections. And he's going to go for every move here because he knows if he can put together a perfect run on this. Oh.
Just falling short.
But he was close.
Oh.
Oh, that's different. Actually going for the hook, not opting to take off the black pillar there, you see. So all the riders using that kind of black tower, and Montalvo opting just to go straight from the ground. Oh, also nicely done to that back wheel.
He's used up a bit of time taking 3 pedals though, so he's got to keep moving now.
So 20 points on the board. 46 seconds left. Okay, opting for the hook.
Seemed just getting that tension on the forks, leaning back and then springing off it.
Nicely done. Just look at that technique. If ever you wanted to know how to do it, watch him in slow motion and you will see exactly how to, although I don't think you'll be able to because it's probably one of the hardest moves you can do in the sport of trials.
Oh, it's so many of the young riders, even the old school riders, they're using it now. It seems to be a popular technique this season.
Montalvo having a bit of problems with this. Oh, nicely done there. And time.
Did he get those 10? Oh, okay.
So Montalvo on 110.
That's the thing, you just can't take 2-3 goes at these obstacles. You've got to keep moving. The sections are long.
But have a look at this. The top three, in fact the top four, 110, 120, 130 and 140 points for the top four scorers here at the UCI men's 20-inch elite final. And what a ride it is, a totally open race.
This is such a steep transition there.
Yeah. Oh, look at that, popping it nicely onto the back wheel.
Samuel actually had a great ride in the semis. He needed to get 60 points in his last section to make it into the finals, and he managed to pull it out of the bag.
Yeah. Definitely a rider with massive amounts of talent. I remember one of the first events I commentated on, Samuel was there as a youngster, and I was always been amazed at the talent he has on the bike. So smooth, and just sometimes you think, how does he do it? He's just kind of so constant and so, you know, just so solid on the bike.
Yeah, I'd have to say his pedal up technique is really solid. But yeah, I love watching his technique. He's, like you said, very solid, very smooth rider.
Right, so we're in the final section of the men's 20-inch elite final.
Just losing his balance there. That's going to be hard to get back up.
And the problem is time. You kind of got to go around and start all over again. So look what's difficult here is having to get that kind of, you know, now you've got to go through, you've got to go all the way down, all the way back up, over, turn, and just the amount of energy. Do you find that in the competition? Sometimes when you make a mistake, having to do something again and again, like the amount of energy it takes just breaks you down?
Yeah, just mental and physical as well, because you know the clock's ticking. It's, you know, you've got all these external pressures, so it's hard to manage all that when you're in the section.
Right, so 20 points on the board. The final section proving just to be too much for Samuel Hlavity from Slovakia. And great ride for him here at the UCI Urban Cycling World Championships here in Chengdu, China.
See how steep that is?
Yeah. So Ian is riding for the rainbow jersey. There's 10 points between him and Oswald. And if he can put in a clear run, in other words 60 points, it will literally put all the pressure onto Cornelos and Oswald.
Yeah, Ion, he's definitely an experienced rider, and in this section last year is where he pulled it back and got his podium position, so he's definitely got it in him to do it.
Look at that focus, come on, Ion! Big pull, look at those, arms straight, breathing deep, pulling hard. Onto that bash ring. So 0 points there on that difficult hook around the back of the course.
I think he might be going for the pedaler.
Yep. 1 minute. Straight to back wheel. Come on, Eon, looking that clock. So 1 minute to go. Well, 54 seconds to go.
Quite a large gap he's got to do, so he's just resting to get some energy for the big gap.
Rest those arms, rest those hands, and the difficult thing is climbing up to that.
Oh, definitely. Now I've just got a gap to this knife edge.
Look how sharp that is. You can see it from this point.
Oh, nicely done.
So that's... Okay, he's got to get, if he can get 40 or 50 points, that is going to be huge. He's currently in the lead.
A little push forward there, turn it around.
Come on, Ian.
Come on.
10 seconds left now.
Now he's just got to pedal.
7.
Remember
6,
to turn right.
Go. 5.
Turn right. Yes.
Yes.
Pull it out of the back.
50 points.
That is an awesome ride.
Let's give a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. He gets a 50
Oswald has to get 40 points or more.
See, he's put the pressure on.
He's put the pressure on, not in a small way, in a big way. And are we going to see the rainbow jersey going to Spain for both 20 and 26.
Are you pulling a calculator out, Dylan?
No, I am actually trying to calculate scores. Actually, I'm pulling it up because I need to see rankings and see what's going to happen if it's in fact a tie. Yeah, so Oswald has to get 40 points in this section if he wants to take the win.
Ooh, I think it's possible.
So turning up once again to be an incredible final here with the elite men on the 20-inch.
And we were talking earlier about the new scoring system, and that's what's so nice about it. The races get so much tighter and so much closer. And I mean, looking at this, it's absolutely amazing to see.
It's been a great race, and it's always to the last section, isn't it?
So Thomas Peckhoek from Austria, the defending world champion. Last year at this point he was in a very different situation. He's not going to be happy where he's sitting here with
going to the
only
front.
90 points.
See, there's been a couple of different approaches. There's been the hang to the front, to the rear. Everyone's got their own riding style.
Yeah, and there's so many different moves that you can do on a trials bike to essentially get over an obstacle. And it's either hanging off the obstacle and pulling yourself to the top, jumping straight to the top.
Oh, it made light work of that. He's just got so much power, that guy.
So he's on 110. Do you think he can get a maximum point? He could potentially... Oh, no, he cannot go. He can go to 50 points on here.
Oh, no.
No, why would... Thomas just not himself today.
No, he might be tired by the looks of that.
In fact, when I was chatting to him earlier, it sounded like he was a little bit sick. He might have had
really?
Yeah, it could be...
He gets up on the box.
The camera was just a bit slow on that one.
points.
Let's give a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. You're the defending champion from 2018.
So, 110 points in total.
From Austria, Thomas Peckhoek.
Looks like
He's not going to do better than 5th place. He won't be happy with that, but a good ride for the Austrian. Being here in the final, a lot of pressure defending that jersey. But here is a man that stands a very, very good chance of putting on that rainbow jersey this afternoon.
Oh, he's a great competitor, Dominic, so it wouldn't be surprising if he could pull something out here.
He was so close last year, but as you said, he has to get 40 points. So a mistake, a slip, anything is possible.
He'll fight to the end, that's for sure.
Nicely done. Oh, he's riding very controlled, and he just seems so solid on the bike today.
He's flowing through nicely there.
Very, very nicely.
Wondering if he'll get this. Nobody else has got this yet, have they?
Nope, not in the 20. Everybody's either just landed on that bash ring. Let's see, going right to the edge. This is an interesting technique. See, trying to get that foot just around so that he can
Get the, yeah, because when you have your front foot so high, it's really uncomfortable to get that pull. He's gone and done it.
He's done it. 20 points. He needs another 20 points. He's still got a minute on the board.
It's interesting he's gone for the hang. Looked very easy, so good choice.
It did, and I think he just wants to play it safe at the moment. I think he wants those points. Oh.
Might rest before this big gap.
35 seconds for Oswald.
35 seconds, he's
10
going to
more
start.
points. He needs to start moving. Come on, here. Come on, Dominic.
That is a huge gap. Oh,
And there's that 40 on the board. Here we go.
16 seconds.
16 seconds. So the score is tied. 10 more, and it's...
Oh, come on. He's just got to hit the ground and just... 5. I think he might be out of time here.
No, 5 points. There he is. He's out of time.
That's still a solid ride for his last
Solid
ride.
ride, but he is the 2019 UCI Men's Elite 20-inch World Champion. What a ride there. And that was fantastic, going right down to the wire.
Oh, that's awesome.
Still 2 riders to go. Looking for those medals here on that podium. Next up, the youngster from Spain, Borja Conejos. He'll be looking to maximize his points here. He wants to get on the
So
podium.
even if Bora gets a clear 60-run score, he will not be world champion. Unfortunately, it will be, but he is fighting with Ion Arieto for a spot on the podium. So a clear run would put him at 180, which is equal to Arieto. And he is moving through extremely quickly. This guy is just so talented.
So fast.
Let's see if he can do this big hook. Okay, as you can see, going right onto the edge of that obstacle, just making room for that pedal. Loading up that fork. Oh, he
he's
does
cleaned
it. So 20 points for him.
When it comes to the big competitions, and certainly proving that he is going to be.
And he wants to stand on that podium. So
Watch out for.
he's still got a fight on his hands. So he wants to get, he can possibly go second. But a good ride from Montalvo could still pass him. So he's really got to be on his game here. Oh, look at that different technique, going from the hook from the ground. So not going for that huge gap.
Yeah, both he and Montalvo are really good at this hang position, so I guess he's going with what he feels confident with. Oh, just hanging on.
Oh, fighting that.
25 seconds though. Still got a bit of work to do.
That was quite a difficult line, and you got a little bit unlucky with your foot placing when you went through that sea of the UCI.
Today was not my best riding.
Well, you haven't competed much. I think you did a fantastic job. 4th place.
Thank you, Dylan.
Here he goes, here he goes.
Oh, very nice. How fast was that exit?
That was insane.
He's got a 60.
Waiting now. And he's good on time. He gets the full 60 points.
What a ride.
60.
So, Conejos stands up in literally the last second. That is amazing. Borja Conejos from Spain coming through on literally minute 99 and pulling
Claimed
off.
second.
Yeah, claiming second spot. I thought it was over. I thought the time was done.
That is awesome.
So, Montalvo. So he's basically guaranteed now of 4th place, and but he does not want to be shut up by his Spanish compatriots, and he's going to go out for a 60 points too. I'm pretty sure he's going to want to.
He want to finish on a high, I'd say.
Yeah.
He's got nothing to lose now.
Oh, look at that. So easily done. In fact, he did that hook a lot easier than anybody else. Everybody kind of struggled with it.
Yeah, and
He's still
quite fast
got a
through it as
minute
well.
and 16 seconds left on the clock.
Now dancing on the pedals, working his way up onto the blocks now. Looking for those
The
extra
number
points.
1 ranked rider, or not ranked rider, but the number 1 seeded rider coming into this from the semis yesterday. And a rider having won many World Cups.
And Chengdu.
And the ex-junior 20-inch world champion.
Well done, he's still got himself 40 seconds now.
He's still got a bit of time, so
Yeah,
I think he could go for the full 60.
I think he's going for the 60. He's going to want to go out with a big score.
Like a 60?
Yeah, as big as it can get. Just look at the focus. What's so difficult here is that angle. Taking off like off such a sharp point and having to go in the wrong direction.
Oh, if you're, a centimetre too far forward or backwards, it's just, you're not going to get it.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Oh, nice and clean. Still got 10 seconds. Yep. That was a great last ride.
Oh, what a ride for him. 60 points there. So if you look at it, the scoreboard was super close. 170, 180, 190. So just 30 points between the top three. But in the end, it's Dominic Oswald from Germany that pulled off just an amazing event, amazing race, and came off with the win.
Yeah, it was a tight race.
Best moment?
Awesome to watch. Pardon?
Best moment for you?
I don't know, maybe Dommy's last ride on this one.
Yeah. I definitely got to say. So, Montalvo, he's happy to be here. He would have liked the win, but it wasn't to be. But look how happy Oswald is. He missed it just last year with Pechhocker taking it. This year, he's on the top spot.
Yeah, like he put so much time and effort into riding, and he's got such a great style. Like, it's nice to see him actually get the win. And to see Borja on the podium as well. Is this his second year?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, like, that's amazing to get a podium.
Yeah, he is so much talent. He won a World Cup this year, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
Yeah, he won. In fact, he won the last World Cup.
Yeah, so he's coming off a high.
He's coming off a high, and
he peaked at the right time.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's the thing, the season's so long now that you've really got to pick your events, and the guys are like, if you peak too soon.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
it's going to be too hard at the World Champs. Well, that was really exciting. You got the 26 inch, the 20, everything was happening.
Yeah. So look at that, some of the highlights. And as you can see, the event going, yeah, starting off in the sunshine and ending in dusk. And just look at those highlights. Look at that, some of those back wheel moves just going so big. And the way he rode that waterfall section, and just really making sure wherever he went, he got a couple of points. Whatever section he was in, he needed to get points. That huge jump up to back wheel was amazing.
Oh, yeah. He just rode the perfect race, really. You know, he's got the things that he was confident in getting, took the strategic dab when he needed to, and held it together at the end to get those points that he needed.
Well done to him.
I think he'll be celebrating pretty hard tonight.
Yeah, if I know the German way, it probably will be.
Ah, yes. Yeah, the German team are quite large this year. I think they're all going to have fun tonight.
Yeah.
Congratulations to the 2019 Urban Cycling World Championship and World Champion in mountain bike trial. How do you feel?
Thanks a lot, first of all. Yeah, the feeling is unbelievable because I really worked hard the last 15 years for this title, and it was my big destination in my career. And right now to have this title is still unbelievable, and I'm so lucky about it and just happy.
Do you have any section which are more scaring for you or made you more nervous today?
I think the section with the water was the most difficult for me because it was really slippery and there are small difficult things. So I was really nervous at the start of the section, but it works well and that's it.
In the fourth section you performed very well. What was here the secret of your success?
Yeah, it was, yeah, I cannot tell it. It was like, how to say, I don't know. I was just give everything, do your best, and I did a lot of powerful stuff, and yeah, that's it.
Thank you so much.
All right, so look at that, a very smiling, happy face for Dominic Oswald from Germany. He's been trying for a long time, and this is his first title.
Yeah, I think he's a bit overwhelmed, to be honest.
Yeah, total loss for words. So well done to Dominic there. So looking at the course here, we're going to be going into the prize giving relatively soon. So a quick one for you. Favorite section, favorite ride, anything that springs to mind as something that just stands out on the event?
I guess the concrete was interesting to watch, but everyone was really struggling in the waterfall section. It's really old school kind of precision placement, so I don't know, it was hard between those two, I think.
Yeah. I mean, big moves and big things to see. For me, seeing this, just look at this, look how far back down and how he lands that without kind of breaking his body blows me away. So, you know, I think the water section, just trying to score in the water section was important. A lot of riders got 30 points. Just putting points on the board was important. So strategy in the water section was good, but essentially it was the Chengdu pipes that really determined what was happening in the 20-inch race.
Yeah, like it was like this year's course, it was really well set out, I thought, just because it had a bit of a mix. Like you said, at the end it had the man-made stuff, and then at the start it was quite kind of natural and very technical, so it kind of gave you a feel for a bit of everything.
You know, it really was, and as you can see there, Dominic getting well and deep into that Chengdu section, and this was a big factor.
It's a good thing he's got long legs.
It's a good thing he's got long legs, but going over the handlebars, they're getting 0 points on the Chengdu section. If he had even just got 30 points, it would have been a totally different competition.
That could have been a game changer.
Yeah.
You know, like he could have been standing on the top step if he held it together. So.
Yeah, so it just shows you how, you know, everybody took that strategic dab, including Dominic, on that section. He didn't, and it essentially, well, I'm not saying it cost him the race because it was open to the end, but it would have put him like really tight in contention for the win, and he would have definitely got second on the podium.
I guess that you can say that for everybody's race. You look back and everyone did some silly mistakes in previous sections. Like, that's just competition, really, and that's sport. And, I mean, that's why we watch it, right? Because it's so exciting. Who you think might win might not actually win on the day. They could get a broken chain or, you know, some random event happen. But, yeah, that's what's awesome about this. Somebody could be absolutely the favourite, but... You know, on the day, you've really just got to pull it together, and it's not just physical, it's also having the right mental state too. For sure. And, I mean, Thomas, he's going to be disappointed with that. Definitely. The defending world champion. Not even on the podium today. It never feels nice to lose your title, so... Yeah. He's, I think he's going to come back a lot stronger next year. Oh, yeah, for sure. He's very determined, Thomas, but so are a lot of the other riders, so it's going to be a very... I'm really looking forward to watching next year's races. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. And for yourself, plans for next year? Working, and more working. Bit of working, bit of uni. Yeah, look, I'd love to come over and ride as many events as I could, but I'm just going to have to see how I go financially, what events I can come to, and the time off work I can get. So, yeah. Well, I would love to ride some comps in Europe again. Hopefully they have some in Australia, but it doesn't seem to be heading our direction. So yeah, I mean, it's amazing to be able to sit here with you in the booth. Janine rode earlier in the ladies' event. She got 4th place. She's the ex-world champion, so real pedigree. But obviously nowadays university work all takes over, and still racing though, and that's pretty impressive. Yeah, I still have a huge passion for riding, so I mean, physically I'm still able to do it, so I'm going to keep doing it. I think I'll stop when I'm broken. So a sum up of the day.
Nina retaining her title. On the men's, we had Sergi Longueras. Very emotional event. Super close at the end. Went down to huge amounts of disputes and questions and all that type of thing. And there was a lot of question between what the rules are, what they aren't on the 26-inch race. The 20 race, of course, that was clean cut and fantastic race to watch. Super close. Both the men's races, the 20 and the 26, just really, really close.
Yeah, like it was pretty much a nail biter for the 26 and 20-inch men's finals. For the 26-inch, I would not want to be a commissaire trying to sort that out. That wouldn't have been fun. So
yeah,
but I mean, yeah, it's just interesting. Like every sport has its rules, so I guess you've got to read up and know what they are. You
got to go into those books and look. And for those of you at home that are interested as to exactly what happens, just a really brief rundown. Is one of the markers seemed to break in half as Jack was going through the section. Obviously, if the marker falls off, then that's given a point, but breaking in half. So there's a lot of decisions, and the commissaires are well qualified, and the UCI team are looking after that, and the right decisions will definitely be made on that. And yes, but as we know for now, we got Sergi Longueras as the new world champion on the 26.
Yeah, his first time ever. So
first time ever,
that's
yeah.
Exciting.
That's amazing. A country that's famous for its 20-inch riders, and that will maybe boost 26-inch bikes in Spain.
Yeah, well, he had a very eventful year, to be honest. Both he and Eloy had that accident in Italy when that explosion went off, so he's come back from that, and yeah, and he's just riding so strong at the moment. So to get that at the end of the year as well, like that's just amazing, really.
That will be amazing, yeah. And then in the ladies' race, I mean, you were there, just off the podium.
Yeah, like Nina riding strong like always, super consistent. Vera, she's just riding awesome at the moment.
So yeah, Vera rode a great race. Was very, very close, and then right at the end there, the same thing. It was kind of like the Chengdu section and the UCI section. Just like it seemed like every time the race hit those two sections, the direction of not the direction of the race, but almost like the riders' levels all changed around, and certain riders came up. And I suppose there's a huge difference between the natural elements that you see in the first three sections and the more man-made sections, and that definitely came through. So riders that were ahead, there was like a big switchover, and there was never like going into section 4, there was never saying that's the winner. It was kind of a nice mix, and the 20, it was, I think the ladies, it was exactly the same.
Yeah, definitely, and that's the thing. It's got a mix of everything. So, I mean, if you're strong in one area and not in the other, you've really got to play to your strengths in those areas. So, I mean, if you have a bad run in those natural areas and you're not so good in the man-made, then you're just going to shoot yourself in the foot. But, I mean, Nina rode awesome and just clocked up all the points in all the sections, and it was awesome.
Well,
to see.
I think actually Vera was leading after the first two sections.
Yeah, like her consistency is awesome. Her technique and her power is looking very good, and this is her first year elite women, so yeah, she's going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Oh, she's this year first year elite.
Yeah.
Vera, okay,
Yep. Yeah, and she's I think she won the World Cup too.
Yeah, she did win a World Cup. Yeah, she's won a World Cup this year. So yeah, very, very strong. We were trying to work out her age earlier. I think the one page we had the wrong age. So she's what, 18 now? Vera?
Yeah, it must be, I think. You've got the sheet, so I'm going to trust you.
I'm not sure. Somebody was telling me she's a bit younger, but we don't have the exact age. But still totally new here, and not new to the sport of trials, but new into World Championship racing and World Cup racing, and really doing well, and showing that there's a new generation of riders coming through, which is obviously very good for the sport.
Yeah, I think she's part of that, the group of like Montalvo, Borja, all those guys. I think they live quite close together and they train together. So to feed off each other, and also her brother Danny, he rides a 26 inch. I think he came third today. So there's a lot of talent in that one little area.
Yeah. And they obviously train all together. And there it is, the UCI 2019 Cycling World Championships. This is the men's 26-inch podium. And as you can see, it was a great race. It really was. Came down to the wire. Totally blew us away. First section, big mistake from Jack Carthy. There we go. Bronze medal for Jack Carthy. That wasn't a result we were expecting.
In second place, and winner of the silver medal, from France, Nicolas Valli.
All right, and in second place from France, Nicolas Valli. They're also going to be celebrating extremely hard tonight, as they always do, the French team.
The French and the Germans know how to party.
And world champion.
Nico very excited there.
From Spain,
yeah, and look at this.
Longueras.
The rainbow jersey moves over to Sergi Longueras, and the Spanish are going to be very, very happy about that.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, Teti's first title, so he'll be stoked.
And especially after that tragedy that happened earlier this year, and basically they were hiking up in the mountains, and older war explosives just went off in the middle of nowhere. And
yeah, I think they were in a cave, and it just an accident really. So Eloy's still recovering from some of that.
The director of publicity department of Chengdu.
And there it is. So Sergi Longueras, Nicolas Valli, and Jack Carthy getting handed over the Pandas, representing the city of Chengdu. They've got that amazing panda research facility here, and doing amazing work in
congratulations and well done,
keeping the population of pandas in this world going.
And then could I ask that we please all stand for the national anthem?
Sergi's got a nice big watch there too.
Yep.
And from Nico's Instagram, I think he's a bit of a fan of pandas too, so he's loving that stuffed toy.
Didn't he get a panda tattoo or something?
Oh, could be. He was hugging that panda pretty tight.
And just look at the consistency of Sergi's ride. He was so happy and celebrating there, and then obviously the celebration went away when he didn't get that 60-point round and didn't make it, and then obviously
there's his sister. Absolutely stoked for him.
Shame, that is just amazing. Look at the emotion.
One more big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Sergi Longueras, Nicolas Valli, and Jack Carthy.
再次掌声欢呼声献给世界冠军。
One more photo together on the top step of the podium, please, everybody. There we go. And then also just a step down to the front of the stage, please, while we say goodbye to our dignitaries. Thanks, guys. Step down to the front of the podium as well, please, for a photo. Thank you.
And that is your men's 26-inch elite podium. Well done to those guys. What a ride from them. It was an interesting race, wasn't it?
Oh, it was a nail-biter.
It was a nail-biter. And from the start, everything went exactly the opposite way than what we thought.
Yeah.
Nothing was expected. The course was very difficult. We've got to say today, I mean, there was, almost no
Thank you very much,
clear
guys.
runs. I mean, we had the
Congratulations
occasional
and
one, but it
well
wasn't
done.
like other events where you see a lot of, maximum point 60 point runs, and where you see one section that everybody does well in, like that recovery section, the guys where they can kind of get their footing and whatever. Every section was extremely difficult.
Yeah, I thought semis was hard, and then you walk through finals and you're like, okay, this is another level hard.
Ladies and gentlemen, may we have your attention for the official awards
great job
ceremony of
with
the
the courses here.
2019 UCI Urban Cycling World Championships in the
It's World
discipline
Championships.
of
That's what you
trials
want.
elite
Like, you
men.
want the best rider to be on the top step at the end of the day. And, I mean, you've got a hard section, they've got to do that. You can't just walk in and win it. You've got to earn it.
现在开始 The rainbow jersey, Tissot watch and medals will be presented by Mr. Arthur Lopez, member of the UCI Management Committee.
So when you won the title, did you get a Tissot watch?
I didn't. I was robbed.
In third place.
Because I was wondering, because you've had the same watch for years, and then I see this year you got a different one. And,
I was so disappointed when my zip-tied watch died.
Yeah, that fantastic zip-tied kind of... not sure what it was.
Trials doesn't pay as much as you think.
And winner of the silver medal.
All right, and the silver medal,
Borja
Cañelos from Spain.
And in first place, winner of the gold medal and world champion.
And the gold medal and the rainbow jersey going to Dominic Oswald from Germany. Look at that smile. He has worked so hard for that jersey. And every year he's right there. Every year, like over the last few years, probably one of the most consistent. And
yeah, like he's always on the podium. Like he's there. And he's just such a strong competitor. You can never rule him out for the world title.
For our champions.
And he's the current European champion as well. So
it's been a good year for him.
Yeah.
Handing over the Panda gifts this evening.
So yeah, taking the European Championships and the World Championships. So yeah, absolutely fantastic year for Dominic Oswald.
下面有请成都市成华区委宣传部副部长、成华区文化体育和旅游局局长杨楠为获奖选手颁发吉祥物。
Congratulations and well done. Ladies and gentlemen, could I ask you to please all stand for the national anthem of Germany?
请起立，现场奏德国国歌。
Big round of applause, please.
再一次掌声欢呼声献给世界
Well
冠军。
done to them. I'm sure they had such good compatriots. But between the two podiums, 3 Spanish riders between 20 and 26 on the podiums here in 2019. It shows that trials is strong in Spain.
Oh, most definitely. It's been like that for years. So Dominic to come through and win that from Germany, yeah, that's a great feat. And as you saw, he's super emotional, which he should be. He's been working very hard to get that position.
Yeah, and he took the gold spot, but it could have been very close to being a Spanish trio because Montalvo was right there too.
Yeah, nipping at their heels.
Yeah, for sure. Ion Arieto, I'm sure he wants more than the 3rd spot, but he did so well today. But okay, thanks to everybody, and special thanks to the UCI 2019 Cycling World Championships here in Chengdu. It was fantastic being here, amazing races, and a special thanks to Janine Jungfals. Well ridden today. Thank you so much for joining me in the commentary box. It was fantastic having you here.
Oh, thanks for having me, and yeah, I enjoyed riding and commentating, so hopefully see you next year.
Yeah, let's hope. No matter, I don't know where we'll be, but we'll be somewhere, and we'll take you through the races again. Thanks everybody, and we'll see you later. Cheers.